I salute you. I salute you. Like, just your humble ass and stuff. Appreciate that. We need
What?
artists like this.
Yeah, at the bar radio.
You already know this the king of Philly, man. At the bar radio, man. You already right.
Where to get lit at? You on your own. Just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planet, this that get back. It's a different day, no, it's same story, nigga. I've been winning, retire like I'm Robert Horry, nigga. They just thought they knew me, but I'm here to make my story bigger. Keep that Laker 40 with me, always know I had that clipper. She act getting on my boat, bet I'm gon' skip her. If they start getting out of line, I bet I'm gon' get them. Pack a bag and book a flight, so they know I'm always tripping. I've been Scotty with the right, so they always know I'm pimping. Well, I always say I got haters, cause they just know I'm living. Word to my bro that came on, they just know I got a vision. The stove gotta stay on, so no product missing. Government want us to stay home, go broke for politicians. Had to carry that weight, never dealt with the opposition. My homie tryna beat the case when he had no pot to piss. I'm tryna cop a bird, but he caught up with all them pigeons. And I can never chase when ain't no love when you got them riches. I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that plane and this that get back. I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that plane and this that get back. Yeah. Alright.
Hey, Tuna, you made this?
I'm all alone. I've been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that plane and this that get back. I'm all alone. I've been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that plane and this that get back. It's a different day, no, it's same story, nigga. I've been winning, retire like I'm Robert Horry, nigga. They just thought they knew me, but I'm here to make my story bigger. Keep that Laker 40 with me, always know I had that clipper. She act getting on my boat, bet I'm gon' skip her. If they start getting out of line, I bet I'm gon' get them. Pack a bag and book a flight, so they know I'm always tripping. I've been Scotty with the right, so they always know I'm pimping. Well, I always say I got haters, cause they just know I'm living. Word to my bro that came on, they just know I got a vision. The stove gotta stay on, so no product missing. Government want us to stay home, go broke for politicians. Had to carry that weight, never dealt with the opposition. My homie tryna beat the case when he had no pot to piss. I'm tryna cop a bird, but he caught up with all them pigeons. And I can never chase when ain't no love when you got them riches. I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that plane and this that get back. I'm all alone, I been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that plane and this that get back.
The airdrop.
Oh,
Yeah, Carol twice. Oh, yeah. That's my laptop, man.
I can say something.
Gunman number one.
Right.
Okay, yo, we're back, man. Happy Father's Day.
Yes, happy Father's Day. Oh.
That's my shit right there, though.
I know you do be rocking.
I know you like that part because that seems like something you be. I know that. Yeah, how do we not know that would be your favorite part, son? Something that you would say on a random day.
Right.
You know what? CP3, some days I'd be like, we really just, I ain't a religious person, but I just like, we just need to pray for you, bro.
But can't you see him driving down the street and
Playing that particular,
in the caddy playing that?
I can see him in a caddy playing that. I can see him just rewinding. I can see him with a girl and he just keep rewinding that one part.
I've done that before.
Be like, you talking to your man? You talking to your man while you're on the phone? Oh, tell him check this song out. New Renegade.
UGK, I used to have like you can listen
Yes,
to
we
it.
know. Didn't he come up to the show? He pulled up
Mm-hmm.
in the caddy. Who were you playing? It wasn't it UGK
I think it was Sunday.
on a Sunday.
On a Sunday.
Beautiful Sunday.
It was beautiful Sunday.
Talking about
Like peaceful Sunday. And here he comes.
yeah, you know, I just had a good religious experience. Nigga, you playing UGK. What religion are you?
Church was great this morning.
Yeah. Church of Pimp C was good.
The chapter of the backhand.
You said what?
Yeah.
The chapter of the backhand.
That's how we do.
So
That's what we do.
that's what we do. So first of all, we got a happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Yes, happy Father's
We're gonna tell some good. I got some good Father's Day stories to tell and stuff.
Day.
I ain't got no kids, but I got some good Father's Day stories. So
CP3.
I feel like people looking at me when you say something about not having no kids. Man. Why do I feel like all eyes gonna be on?
because we know because you keep talking. Because you act like your pullout game is spectacular, but I know you done shot
We
it.
already know. Let me tell you something. It may not be now. It may not be next week. It may not be in 2 years, but we gonna find your long lost shoe.
That's crazy.
And then of course we gotta talk about this, the whole Juneteenth thing.
Yes.
And Juneteenth is special for me because this is something that my mother and my aunt used to do. And then several years ago, about maybe 10 or 15 years ago, I was privileged to help my aunt put together several Juneteenth showcases. And it's just so exactly Renegades is in the building, but yeah, when nobody was really talking about Juneteenth.
Right.
And we were privileged to do that, and how fitting a year after she's passed that it becomes a federal holiday.
Yes.
I really wish she would have
Been able to see that.
to see that because
Well, they say she witnessed it.
she witnessed it because her energy is always there,
Right.
and her energy is always in the building. So it was a blessing, and I feel a little emotional about it, but also it's positive and negative.
Mm-hmm.
So I also feel a certain way too, with Juneteenth. I'm glad that it happened, but there's so many other problems that need to be addressed that we need to be taken care of too.
Well, one thing we can say is that this is not actually a new thing. They have proposed this numerous times.
Yes.
So a lot of people think that it got passed now. They're only doing it. It was only brought to the table because of George Floyd and all of the protests that we had last year. No, it's actually been brought to the table many times. Texas, of course, Juneteenth for Texas is a little different than the rest of the country. Texas, they have places that have parades. This is for years they've done this. They've had parades. They've had, all kinds of different festivities. Montgomery County and the DC metro area, for 22 years, they've celebrated Juneteenth in Montgomery County. They have, different festivities and things like that. So I've gone to some, over the years as well. So this isn't new. It's a long time coming. Just because there's so much more that we need to have done doesn't mean that we just can dismiss this Juneteenth thing. That is a milestone. That is something that people have asked for years.
Okay, I hate to do this because someone asked a question. So, Leslie, I actually put my email in the comments, but when you ask like how to submit music, it's actually it's in a purple box. It's in a black box with purple lettering that actually has my email address, which I just put it in. Actually, I put instead of Gmail, I put Janelle, but it's gmail.com. This is what happens when you ask me stuff live on air. That's why I have it already in the comments, so I don't have to say this. Also, though, it also says that before you submit the music, please share the show at least 10 different times. So, that way we can all, benefit from it.
Right.
So. And salute to my Uncle Robert. Happy Father's Day to my Uncle Robert. He is actually watching. Happy Father's Day. But go right ahead. It's Lady Internet.
We also in honor of Juneteenth, we have the lovely Uncle Nearest, 1856, it's 100 proof.
So you have told us the story of Uncle Nearest because you bought it. Could you tell us again for the people who have just now seen it for the first time?
Yes.
It's a very important story.
Uncle Nearest, here we go. He's so shady.
It's how you say it though.
You're alcohol engineer. First of all, you always try to accuse me of being alcoholic.
There was some shade in your voice,
I
dog.
understand you know how to drink.
Dog, there was some shade in your alcohol education.
I'm just saying, you know how to drink.
That's a
I mean, I go to distilleries. First of all, I was a bartender a long time ago. Then I became a wine consultant, and then now I'm just like all about my distilleries and stuff like that. But Uncle Nearest, you can always Google it. Um, it's the story of it was a slave who Nathaniel Green. He taught Jack Daniels, the method that he used for whiskey. Um, of course, we know who Jack Daniels is. We know that that recipe is long standing. It's been around. People drink it. It's a very popular brand. However, that was taken from a slave, and he was not paid for anything. He received nothing. Um, so years ago, a black woman uh, went ahead and she decided to pay homage to him and get this company going, and pretty much reimburse his descendants. Um, so it is important to support that cause. And I told you not to take your first sip on air. She's over here struggling. It is very good. It's a premium whiskey. It goes down smooth, kind of spicy, got a little bite to it, but it's not that rough feeling that some people get from.
It could be worse. They like Hennessy or nothing like that.
I mean, you don't drink Mexican tequila, so you should be all right.
It was pretty smooth. Was the one to job that? Like I told you, I had a bad experience with that Patron shit.
Dog, the last I gave you a shot of the Mexican tequila, you was checking your pulse. So you tapped your neck.
We had like 4 different ones.
Yeah, but 2 times you tapped your neck. Ask Lady Antoinette.
Oh, I know. Like I said, I
And
don't.
sometimes he just holds it.
I just started drinking tequila messing with y'all.
The other day, he put his whole hand on the side of his neck.
He's like, I tapped out. I tapped out. Give me out.
But yeah, so let's give a shout out to Nathan Green, Uncle, also known as Uncle Nearest, came up with a wonderful recipe that we've enjoyed so many years under the name of Jack Daniels. So if you like Jack Daniels, you'll definitely love Uncle Nearest. I personally have stopped drinking Jack Daniels.
Personally, I really stopped. I'd rather get the Uncle Nearest.
And honestly, it tastes better.
Why you should drink Jack? Because 3 straight shots of Jack, you good.
Okay, so 3 straight shots of Uncle Nearest, you're good.
That's just how you used to.
And the taste is slightly different.
Oh yeah, that's good.
But it's definitely amazing.
This has more flavor to it, Jack.
Yeah,
So,
see, there you go, bam.
So CP, you got some sports for us?
Yeah, I got a little something.
So who's Carissa Shields? Never mind.
There we go.
It was actually a good fight on last night. Charlo fight. Yeah, the distance was awkward because Mexican, but Mexicans got them concrete jaws. Hell of a fight. Paul the Boxer got me on Sports Media podcast coming soon, breaking down all the recent boxing. But the Nets having a good week. They were on a 8-2 homestand. No, 7-3. I'm sorry. They won 3 out of 4 versus the division lead Mets. Now are 3 games under 500. Starting to turn it around a little bit, like I said they would. They just re-signed Gerardo Parra, who was one of the key players during the 2019 run. He actually got into the game today. Excuse me. It was a good series against the Mets because the Mets were playing some good ball, and the Nats were being very consistent. They didn't get the sweep, but they won 3 out of 4, which I did predict they would do on the show last week. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow. So Brian and myself, Robbie will be off for the week. He's out of town on vacation. Also in the NBA, we'll be talking a little bit of NBA tomorrow. Also, the Bucks eliminated Brooklyn last night in Game 7. I actually watched a little bit of this on the side.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah,
Back on basketball, huh?
Well, the Nets played a doubleheader. The game was over early, but
You so fake.
You watch basketball? Oh my God! It's gonna. Yo, I bet you. Look, check the weather. It's going to snow
But
tomorrow.
see, what's
Man.
crazy, every time the team that I root for, I turn on, they lose. That's why I'm like, I don't want to turn
So,
it on. I'm like,
Oh,
Jason,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you were against the Nets?
No, I wanted Brooklyn to win. Yeah,
Okay.
I wanted them to win.
Okay.
And they
I'll
lost
tell you like
the game.
this. I'm an old head, so there's only one New York basketball team.
And Kyrie, was healthy.
If it ain't the Knicks, it ain't
Well, the
nothing.
Knicks made the playoffs too, from what I
The
hear.
Knicks suck.
He said from what I hear.
You know,
Oh,
That's what
Look, man. I'm a lifelong Knicks fan. I am used to disappointment. I've been a Knicks fan since the Michael Jordan era. So
I've been a Bullets fan, so I understand.
That's
I'm
what I
used
do in
to
the town.
I'm used to
What, the
disappointment.
Bullets?
No, when they traded Richard Hamilton for Jerry Stack,
Oh yeah.
I was done. I heard that
Yeah,
trade. I wasn't
Rich
even one.
was,
Yeah,
was
he
on
was a young
point.
talent.
Yeah,
Boy.
he
You know
was.
what? You getting an old dude that can barely hit anything outside.
They were trying to get the name.
Yeah, but that's why I was like, I was done. I was a Bullets fan way back.
You ain't watch basketball.
No, I used to watch basketball in the early. I used to watch up until like the mid 2000s. After Boston,
Nigga, that was
won the
20
championship.
years ago.
That's when I started watching.
The mid 2000s.
That was like after Boston won the championship, 2010 is when I pretty much stopped watching.
Okay, because when we worked together, you used to watch.
Yeah, I was out because it was still. You still had some fundamentals being stretched. Now,
'Cause I was
They had white cheerleaders. Why didn't you stop?
because there's no fundamentals, man. They don't play defense.
Yeah, I think he likes sports more than he likes the women, honestly, but he won't admit it.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I wouldn't say that.
See? Okay.
Anything else you got for a CP3?
Also, the Western Conference Finals is Phoenix versus the Clippers.
Now, who would have thought that the Clippers beat out the Lakers?
I mean, the Clippers, they were, from what I hear, they were close, last year.
No, he's talking about in general.
Oh, I mean, the Clippers have rebuilt their team after that whole debacle with the owner.
I mean, they have improved over the last few years, but even still.
Yeah, but they made it to the finals now, so I mean, that's all that matters. Playoffs is different. They're getting good performances.
Clippers. Yeah, that is awesome.
So,
Right.
quick
Is
update,
the-
Renegade said.
the same way- Look, the same way I be like, there's only one New York team. Don't get it twisted. There's only one LA team.
Okay.
You also have Philly and the Hawks tied at 3. They have a game 7 today, I believe, to
Okay.
go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like I said, we'll come back tomorrow night. Brian will probably be out. NHL playoffs. You got the Western Conference Final, Las Vegas Knights versus Montreal. Montreal's up 2-1. And the Eastern Conference Final is tied at 2 with the Islanders and Tampa Bay.
Who you going for?
I predicted it would be the Islanders versus Vegas. That was my original pick
Yeah.
after the Capitals.
I don't like Vegas stuff, but I can
I mean,
understand.
I'm going to root for Barry Trotz. Because
Okay.
the Capitals, I still feel, and I said, man, they made dumb moves down the
Right, I'm with you right there.
after he won the cup. And
Yeah.
because they couldn't reorganize.
That was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
I swear though, I love CP3, but he's just a walking enigma. Hates basketball but loves hockey. I mean, that's
hockey is one of the last pure sports around. Because
Pure.
pure.
there's no superstar rules. If a superstar player does something, the ref don't call it. Somebody from another team gonna fuck him up.
So you
that's
like
why he likes. That's why he
the
likes.
violence.
It's a level playing field.
the
But no,
violence.
you like the violence.
No, like you
And see,
got
and
You
I'm-
think when
And I'm
you
waiting for him to completely dismiss the NFL because if you sit there and look at the trend, when it comes to being aggressive, basketball is not aggressive anymore. That's why he don't watch it.
there's no defense.
Basketball's not aggressive anymore like it used to be. So that's why he doesn't watch it. NFL, they getting kind of soft too. So
I bet you CP3 cleans his gun while he watches hockey.
I went to the range before, and I game just happened to be on that night.
But okay, so I will admit that when you're at a hockey game and they start fighting,
It's
like,
good. I
that
heard about it.
crowd is
I
crazy.
mean, being in a live hockey game, that's what I tell all my folks. And they criticize me for watching hockey.
No, I don't criticize it.
I mean, just once you go to a live hockey game,
It's on the
it's nothing like you're going to be hooked. See, I was at a young age.
See, out of the four sports that are here, I haven't been to a hockey game or a soccer game live.
Oh, both are good.
So my goal is to hit those two. Now that the world is.
Yeah.
Game is a whole
The
different
sad part is I was living in DC and never did it, but now I'm not in DC. I figured, hey, you know what? I think I
And
go.
honestly, DC United, their stadium is
Oh, that
amazing.
the new stadium?
Yeah.
They built a new stadium right off of Navy Yard, I believe.
Yeah, it's right there. It's
Yeah.
right across from the next stadium.
Yeah.
So it's that whole area has.
Oh, let me take that back. I haven't been to the Knights game neither.
What?
I don't think I have.
I've only been to two myself.
What? Oh,
So-
we got to get this together.
Yeah, you gotta get it.
Cause I go to everything.
I told you I got some changes coming
Okay.
in my life.
And you're like,
Yeah.
oh,
I
okay.
can't really speak about
Oh,
it.
you
You can't speak about it.
you found that lost son?
You gonna take him to a basketball
See
game?
what his mom keeping him away.
See, you know it.
I feel I was robbed of his childhood.
Would you rather was it the child or the earned income tax credit?
She got 7 days back.
Yeah.
She got 7 days.
You know it.
So that is that it?
Also, just to wrap up, DC Sports Washington football team will be going to training camp at the end of July from the 27th to the 31st. That'll be down in Richmond.
You
I got to reach out to some of my contacts. Last year, I had some folks that I was going to be able to work some magic, but the pandemic shut all of that down.
know.
So I got to reach back out to see if I still have the same people in place to see if I might be able to.
It's funny because I have some hookups and
Yeah,
you know, and some of them are no longer.
yeah, I know. I lost a couple of my contacts, you know, so trying to cultivate some new,
Ooh, big words.
yeah, you know.
Big word alert. Big word alert.
So let's see how long that's gonna last. Is he drinking Uncle Nearest 1856?
You boy,
I'm just saying.
I'm saying, I would be off of it if you ain't drinking. But,
Here we go. You would have found something else.
yeah, so I'm gonna see if I can work something. I'm gonna see if I can figure something
I mean, it was either that or the Paul Masson.
You had some bad days with Paul.
I've never drank. I've had a female drink Paul one time, and I seen what that shit do, and I'm like,
Paul ain't your friend.
nah, I don't mess with that shit. It's like alcoholic beverages with like natural disasters with them, hurricane and shit like that. I don't touch those. That's letting you know something's wrong with that shit.
So what you're saying, like,
There's something wrong
Even
with
if it was
Paul.
Nigga, you drank that 211. You drank that 211, lady, after that
That was
part.
only, that's only like the third 211 I've had in my life. And that
but
was
he,
fine
you're
because there was
such a
no other-
211 type of person.
But it was no other beverage in the house besides the 211. She bought a 40. Well, was it?
It was a 40. It was a 42. They
Yeah,
did
42. Luckily, that was the new batch because the old batch was ridiculous. It made my man pass out off that shit.
Yeah, but I
And you were acting the fool that day.
Exactly. That's what that shit.
Because I think I had the 211 I got for you for your birthday and the Terramana.
Yeah, if you would have got the blue bull,
Nah.
nigga, that's just as bad.
no, the blue, no, the red bull. That's something wrong with that shit. Blue bull is cool as long as you don't mix it with naughty.
What happened when you mixed it with Naughty here?
You always say that.
Because I have an experience.
Yeah, I bet you do.
And a
So
story to
I ain't
go
gonna-
along
I ain't
with
gonna talk-
it.
it's still- Never mind. Go ahead.
You know, you about to get in trouble.
he about to commit a crime. So yeah.
Oh my God. You know what?
So so this Wednesday I went to the DJ Coalition event.
Okay.
DJ Nasty Nice did his thing.
Yeah.
I met him face to face. He was so happy.
Good. I'm happy.
So I want to say very salute to DJ Nasty Nice.
Mm-hmm.
He set the tone.
Good.
One, the internet inside sucked, so they weren't able to use the Wi-Fi to get the music. So he had to play the music that was like literally just on his laptop,
Right.
and he still rocked it.
I'm about to say, because real talk, DJ Nasty Nice, he's always on. Like, he does his stuff online, he will live, all that, and he'll tag people.
Yeah.
And so I don't doubt that he had the music
So-
on his, like, he was prepared.
So he was very appreciative of me being there.
Good.
He's like, nice to meet you face to face, man. And I was like, cool. Super Day about to pull up in 10 minutes.
That's crazy. The internet. Right.
I mean, things
Well,
happen like
I could barely get cell phone service in it.
Things
so-
like that happen.
That blows my
So I mean, things happen. You got to learn to adapt. But he rocked it out.
Yeah.
And then at first I was getting frustrated because you know how these DC niggas is. So they didn't know him. So they, during his practice set, I could see they were trying to clown him a little bit
Why?
because they hate us. But then when he really got in his set, them niggas went from haters to being fucking fans.
Mhm.
That's all it takes, man.
But honestly, in the music industry, that happens.
Yeah, but I didn't like because I felt he's been on the show now. I feel personal. Oh yeah,
Right. Don't be talking to him.
clown like I'm watching
It's good.
like I'm saying, yeah, because I'm like
It's good.
I'm looking like, and the thing is so they lucky because I ain't had no drinks in me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had a couple of drinks, I'd be like, nigga, shut the fuck up. I'd be like, shut the fuck up and let him DJ.
Right.
Or you get behind the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but y'all know me, like
but,
I'm Mama Bear, but I don't like the ratchet Mama Bear, and
or you give him protecting the people that you fuck with.
Yeah.
And
I probably would have.
Yeah, probably.
Wait, did they check y'all for y'all?
They did, but he probably would have got him with the
bracelet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they didn't do the metal, they just had.
I've gotten some more secure buildings.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Hey.
But
overall, the event was great. It was great. Now I will tell you this though, black people, when we throw these events, and the real event don't start at 8:00, don't put fucking 6:00 on the clock. Because it's one thing I hate to do, and even with my boy shit, and even Renegade hates to do this. We hate to stand around and do nothing.
Yeah, I'm with you.
So, when I see that the event, to me, the event didn't start on time.
Mm-hmm.
But by the time they got it going and stuff like that, I had to leave and go to work.
Right. So
overall, like I said, it was an enjoyable event.
So you ended up missing some stuff.
So I didn't get to see none of the independent artists perform.
Independent playing, but how some independent artists are late, so they tell the show starts at 6.
Yeah, but to advertise it to everyone else.
Let me tell you what I do in situations like that. This is some real shit. I had a dude at one of the joints, and this is why they hate. This is why they love to hate to put me in charge of when people go on, because I'll next you real quick.
Yes, that's what you're supposed to do.
And then when you come to me and be like, yo, I was supposed to go number 3. I said, what time were you supposed to be
here? On time.
Nigga, you gonna last. Like,
right.
What do you mean last? Like dead last.
That's the thing.
I can go now. No, nigga, you going dead last.
Because the show must go on.
Yeah, when everybody's walking out the door, that's when I want you to perform.
Yeah.
I want you to be like when the boat is sinking in Titanic. Mm-hmm. I want you to be the last nigga on stage.
If you was supposed to come first,
so
you won't get bumped.
Because the thing about it is though, like we show up on time, we do what we supposed to do professionally.
Right.
Like, and then when you know that you go, that goes back to the story what I told you when I went to Atlanta. No, I went to Miami the first time.
Right.
The nigga who asked about the picture. Mm-hmm. Like he was supposed to perform number 3 when I had my camera. Mm-hmm. So he decided to walk away. And then when he finally got to perform, he hit me on IG and was like, yo, did you take any pictures of me? No.
Oh, no.
The camera was put away by that time. Oh. Because you wasn't where you supposed to be.
Oops.
Like, you see the picture I took of the other dude, well, the nigga from Alabama paid me.
Oops.
The other people I actually knew. You are the nobody that you was the capital nobody, Mr. Nobody, like the movie. That had the nerve to walk out of the club when you're supposed to be ready to perform, and then to come back in hours later. I don't care if you were smoking, making a porno, or it's not professional. So, and when you have that energy, I will not give you professional energy.
So here's the problem that I have. The same people will show up to their 9-to-5 job to get their little paycheck, right? They'll come on time or at least close to it. But they know if they show up really late or there's no call, no show, they expect to be written up, get fired, whatever the case may be. But when you're in the entertainment industry, why is it that those people don't have the same mindset?
This is their mindset. Because they're not serious. But these same people will come, when something goes wrong with the show, these same motherfuckers will oh, they'll start bad rapping the promoter.
Yeah.
So there was one dude, it was several years ago, and we actually, me and GOP interviewed him, little white boy, and he was supposed to. We did this thing called the Juke Fest, and PG County was out there, so things didn't happen the way it was supposed to. Anyway, he had a post. It was like, yeah, this was that janky promotion that that they did. So off the break, when I see that, because my people did it, first of all, you're not that good. Second of all, you're appropriating our culture. So shut the fuck up. You're a guest. Shut the fuck up. You're not Eminem. Sit down. So then, when you make a statement like that of a person who's really just trying to help the culture and help many, like if I name all the artists that he helped put on, including Shy Glizzy, he helped. It was because of the show that Shy Glizzy did with us that the motherfucker from BET saw him and put Shy Glizzy on BET. Then you're bad rapping my peoples of a situation that you don't know. Like sometimes you want to stick your chest out when you just really need to shut the fuck up. And there's one of those situations where I looked at him like, dog, you're not even Eminem, you're Skittles. Shut the fuck up.
So he was tasting rainbow.
Yeah.
That's
So
what Skittles are, tasting rainbow.
so I just
And
get,
I'm not a Skittles fan.
but I get offended when people, do that because these dudes that show up late and they want to attack, promote. Oh, this show wasn't this, and then half of these niggas ain't got their song mixed right. Renegade can attest to this. One year we did we was at the Titan Arts where we were doing auditions, and these motherfuckers, the dude mixed the song on his iPhone, and he came and he was like, "Nah, it's your speakers." Like, bro, my speakers are monitor speakers. These speakers that you found in the studio.
Okay, which iPhone did he have?
That's his probably. He probably have the iPhone 6.
Because some people do that and it actually comes out good.
Yeah, if you know what you're doing.
That's all.
You can have $1 million studio, but if you don't know how to mix,
That's
if you got a $10 mix, it don't make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, your stuff is not level, and I was like, this is your rough draft. And then another lady came, and she, her and her, well, we're a brother and sister team, and they were real cocky, and this ain't even my best song. So this song ain't even mixed right. And
this ain't my best song. That's the defense.
No, that was her best song.
No, but that was the defense.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound.
So then she played the best song, and it still wasn't mixed right. So then she was like, well, name somebody's song that sounds better. I said, sure. Hey, Renegade, come here. Go ahead, play Benny Hanna for her. Matter of fact, don't even do it off the email. Play this shit off your phone. So he hooked the phone up. Oh, damn, what's your number? To my point, you weren't professional about it.
Yeah.
The fact that you got to ask what's his number, his information, your shit wasn't mixed.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of these people come in with their not being right, and then when something go wrong, they want to complain.
Right.
Artists in this area need to got really get their shit together.
Well, I'm gonna be real with you. We've had a lot of issues when it comes to the music industry in this area.
Yes.
And I would love to see our chocolate city. I'm gonna still call it that, even though it's not as chocolatey as it used to be.
It's more white chocolate now than anything.
But we do need. Of course, you're gonna say that.
Yeah, you love that, don't you?
You're gonna say that. No, because
Mocha with a
you
red
like
hair?
the white chocolate. So
Mocha with a red hair?
see, here we go.
They can see you smiling. Lady Ante, it's like the nigga just had a dirty thought. He was like,
He did. But why are you sweating though? Okay. But yeah, so I mean, it's sad to say, but the music industry in regards to this area they don't mix well.
So, we have a guest.
Yes, we do.
So we got a guest, and how we're gonna lead into this guest is we're gonna talk about Father's Day, and then I'll play a video. We'll bring our guest on.
Yes.
So because he's a father,
Mm-hmm.
and he thinks I'm gonna ask him normal ass questions,
And I think he has like, how many children you have? You have a bunch, don't you? You got like a little.
Well, he got like 6.
You got starting
7.
5. Yeah, starting 5.
You got a basketball team? Don't even answer. Your mic's not on.
I'm at least gonna have a couple more for sure though.
No.
Wait, you Nick Cannon?
Wait.
I just want to try.
You You
My
niggas.
dad had 12. I just believe.
Wait. Giving too much. Your mic ain't on. Giving too much.
Whoa.
Wait till we
We
get
just
to
know
you.
he got a
Yeah.
few. A few. Not a couple, but a
His
few.
favorite rap group should be Wu-Tang Clan. Anyway. Yeah.
Man.
So my Father's Day started like this. My goddaughter, shout out to Tanisha, texted me. And she said, I love you, happy Father's Day, Dad. Then my oldest godchild, her sister Shay, wrote me this beautiful thing on Facebook. And and she tagged me in it, and that was very beautiful. So I salute my Uncle Tyrone because he was my biggest father figure in my life. Um, my Uncle Tyrone did everything. He taught everybody, from driving. He taught me how to be a man. Um, and what really was special was how he stood by my aunt in her last days. And like he asked for no help. He did what he did. He loved my aunt Sheila to the death, literally. And I always appreciate that. And then my father texted me, and he was like, son, I'm proud of you. You don't have no kids. You've been a good uncle, and you've been a mentor to other kids. And so happy Father's Day to you. And that's really good, coming from my father as well. And I wish him a happy Father's Day. So, I was very blessed to, even though not to have kids, but I still get these calls and stuff like that on Father's Day. So I felt really good about that. CP3.
Happy Father's Day.
I am my uncle, so I'll take that. Uncle aspect. Yeah,
And
Father's Day is always a rough
You
time.
need a father's aspect.
Father's Day always a rough time for me being I lost my dad 16 years ago. He was my best friend, my mentor, and told me that was a good man. So that's why I'm like that we're doing a show like this, talking about fathers that are in their kids' lives and doing the right thing without no awards or kudos or anything. I was fortunate enough to have my dad in my life for 27 years before he passed away. Some folks had their dad in like 27 seconds. So I know I was blessed, and I tell folks I always give this message after losing my dad. A lot of folks are estranged from their father for something they did to their mother or whatever. You only get one dad, and once he's gone, he's gone. You gotta let go of the past and move forward. They try to build a relationship with you, don't be reluctant. I say, reach out and see what can happen, because you never know, what can happen. Reach out, bury that, hatchet from them old feelings or whatever, and then you might have a great relationship with your dad. You never know. Don't limit those possibilities because you're upset because of some stuff that either wasn't nothing that you can do about it, not in your control, nothing you can change about it. But if you have your dad in your life, you should reach out. I damn sure miss my dad every day. I don't give anything to be able to have one more conversation with him. Just to, sit back, drink a cold and watch a football game and chill. So, yeah, just gotta salute the guys that do it. I had a couple of folks that I wanted to, come on that I had met that really personify being, fathers in their children's lives, showing them the right way, not just telling them, but actually implementing it and teaching them lessons while they're out there in the real world. So, we have a lot of that going on, but it doesn't get talked about because all we hear about is the deadbeat dads or the paternity test to see who the daddy is or whatever, or the other bullshit.
that's not on the day. That part is.
Well, I mean, it's just see, that's a whole other conversation. I really wasn't going there. See, that's a whole other conversation. I'm not even.
It's all right.
I have to go my soapbox.
Well, I will say this. There, black men, 'cause there's a lot of deadbeat white dudes, but black men particularly, there's a lot of deadbeat Chinese dudes. Black men particularly, we get stigmatized as being deadbeats, and there are a lot of black men that take care of their kids.
And there are a lot of black men who step in as well.
That is true.
Been there, done that.
And my Uncle Tyrone, not only did he take care of us, and we're not his blood nephews, but he always took care of us. He would fight for us.
Right.
He took care of my cousin Keisha. He took care of his son. He took care of his stepdaughter Ursula, my first cousin. He took care of his grandkids. All of them.
Yeah.
He took care of his great grandkids.
Mhm.
You know, there are a lot of good black. My brother, he's taking care of his daughter. He's taking care of his son. Renegade's father.
Mhm.
There are a lot of good. Shout out to my best friend Eric. He's another one. He does what he has to do for his kids. There are a lot of black men that take care of their kids that get no credit. And then here's the thing: they don't do it for the credit. So that's why you don't really hear them brag and boast, because if you're doing your job as a father, it's just not you don't need, it's what you're supposed to do.
Right. Indeed.
And they don't worry about the credit or the fame, because if you're doing it 24/7, then you're not worried about the gram. You're not worried about social media. When you're a father regardless.
Cool.
That's why I never understood the ability to have a child and not take care of it. Look.
Yeah, we ask that question about you all the time.
Like, why are
Yeah,
you
what?
not with your children?
Is that like the pot calling the kettle black?
If I had kids, I would be there for them. I would
Yeah,
be the mother and not-
Sure.
Random baby mother, could you call
Right.
240-324-6110?
Call us. Call us so you can wish your baby daddy CP3 happy Father's
Yeah, please do. I'm gonna be in my child's life since you kept them away from me.
He already coming up with his little narrative. Well, I want to say, as far as Father's Day, I almost lost my father back in 2019 in June. We've always celebrated him during Father's Day, but it means so much more to us now that we know he's still here. So, we literally could have lost him. Um, so, of course, I spent today, um, went, gave him his gifts, which it makes me sad because I've really been on this thing. He said, men don't usually get gifts and get recognized. And of course, y'all my co-host, y'all know I got him an Invicta watch and bracelet and
Invicta
case
gang?
and everything. And I gave him everything. But he was very appreciative. And when he said that, it kind of touched on, it was the truth. Like he said to my son, men don't normally get recognition and gifts and things like that. Which leads me to what you were saying. This country, our society, paints this picture of black men,
Yes.
and Juneteenth and Father's Day all wrapped up in the same weekend means a lot. Um, when my son was going to a private school in DC, I would literally, I would have to take him to school, and I would literally see black fathers walking their kids in the heart of DC. I would see black, fathers walking their kids to school. I didn't see the mothers. I didn't see babysitters. I saw the dads fixing their little girl hair, straightening them up before they get into the schoolhouse, things like that. So personally, I'm like, this narrative I see firsthand that it's not true. It's not true. And then as a black woman, I feel like any good dad needs recognition. Any good dad, like whatever I can do. So I'm sending out text messages to people I don't even really rock with like that, but I know that if I know they're a good dad, I'm gonna send it.
Did you send one to CP3?
No, I waited till we got here. But he's a great uncle. He's not the best dad because he doesn't even know his kids. But I mean, and that's why I got the Uncle Nearest 1856 because I knew that maybe you'll get drunk enough to finally say something that
I love you, son.
Well, I got a quick shout out to my man. I don't know if you're watching or not. Just lost his dad the day before Father's Day. My man Saeed, he's a manager at my job. He's been a great mentor.
Oh, I know Saeed.
Yeah.
Wow. So my dad used to work with him.
Yeah, he was supposed to come through today. He was going to spend the time with his dad before he came through, but unfortunately passed away. He's having some health issues. He's in the hospital, fighting. And just want to give a shout out to my man Saeed. He's been very instrumental in my development as a better car salesman, and a better person in general.
He's a stand-up guy.
So we have another special. We have another special guest in the building. Super Dave from the Neighbors
Dave.
podcast
All right.
What's
is
going
in the
on,
building.
man?
Good, it's good.
You know, I told him to come through, get some food. You know, he gotta go to work.
I'm technically supposed to be at work. Right
Yeah.
now.
So,
Shout out to CB3. He made
so-
sure that we grilled. We got the drinks.
So,
yeah,
I tell you what, Super Dave, do you have any Father's Day shout outs you want to do or Father's Day story before I do this video?
Sure. Yeah, I'm real quick. A couple of them. Oh, let me turn this. I was looking at the show. You know what I'm saying? But,
You here now? You ain't
yeah,
gotta
I
watch
ain't gonna watch it. First of all, man, it's good to be here, man. Shout out to y'all. I love the show. So to actually be here and see it being produced, it's, get to see how the sausage is made, basically. But quote unquote pause. Anyway, but no, Father's Day shout outs. My pops passed away in 2012. And so I just want to say to everybody, just cherish your fathers, man, especially if they're in your life, if they around and giving you those gems and those jewels to take with you through life. Hold on to it, cherish it, because everything comes back. Life is cyclical. It's a cycle, so everything comes back around. So all the stuff that they're telling you, heed it, listen to it, and appreciate it while you have it. Also, shout out to my brother. My nephew is just turned 13, and I saw that really grow my brother, changing from literally from a boy to to a man. He's he's 2 years older than me, but just having a child is a life-changing event. So and I'm like CP3, I'm the cool uncle, you know what I'm saying? So
Do you have any illegitimate kids out there?
illegitimately, I can't say. So all the tests came back. All the times
Oh,
I was on, all the times I was on Maury, I was doing backflips to the. Nah, I don't got no illegitimate babies, man. Right, yeah.
Yeah, because they can't find you.
I feel like none of this. CP3 is my man. I'm not gonna sit here and let y'all talk about my now.
I got 6 aliens to the 3 different actors.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay,
First of all, let me tell you this. Since you don't know, first of all, he worked at a job for 20 years and only 3 people knew his real name.
And how about this? I knew his name only because I did payroll.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I try to keep it myself.
We didn't know his real name at work.
But he tried to keep it himself, but he didn't keep his penis to himself.
But that's
I literally know of him as 3 names.
Okay.
Mm.
They could be all talking about me. They know they were talking about.
Right.
Got your back. Get each of them a different secret, and see when it comes back to you, you know who not to trust.
That's actually brilliant. Yeah.
Don't.
I'm playing chess. They playing checkers, baby.
Oh Lord, your voice is changing already.
Right.
No more shots.
She didn't want to go to Uncle Larry's.
I mean,
Oh,
you don't say it.
He turned
I told you I was gonna bring it.
So-
It's come on.
Video. That's my
So
Oh,
let me
my
play a video. Let me play a couple of videos real quick, and we're gonna start with my man who I know was a good father, OCA Stacks, Polo Stacks.
Mm-hmm.
I always watch him, and he's always shouting out his kids or doing stuff with his girls and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely we're gonna play OCA Stacks.
And he was on the show talking about his kids too.
Oh yeah, that's correct. One check at a time. You know.
I put people on, understand? The streets was happy. Everybody could eat.
Yeah, no, I don't know about him. You go ahead, what?
Oh, okay.
Oh, you taking
Yeah, go ahead.
Nigga, what it do? Know that. Oh, man. Stop. Nigga, what it do? Weird ass nigga, bro, you know that I don't fuck with you. Keep that fake love, it ain't no point in even coming through. Got him in that laser sight, hope he don't think he bulletproof. Look me in my eyes,
when I'm talking, youngin' got the juice. Just to ease the pain, I need some Henny and a blunt or two. Make this shit look good, but only God know what I'm going through. Lights got a cut-off notice, and plus the rent was overdue. Baby mama's on my ass, they say my daughters need some shoes. I just sent a couple $1,000, told her she can pick and choose. Never had no shit to prove, just a lot of shit to lose. Swear to God, a nigga try me, it's gon' make the breaking news. Hopped out of Suburban with this turban like it's 92. P.O. won't let me leave this thing, cause I keep breaking all the rules. Menace to society, plus they treat me like a psycho too. Used to smoke on cookies, now I'm stuck on this Gorilla Glue. My niggas getting active, that just mean they getting rid of you. Mentally, emotionally, my bitches getting physical. They told me I got it, how I kill these niggas lyrical. God ain't let me die, May 29, this shit a miracle, I'm blessed. God ain't let me die, May 29, this shit a miracle, I'm blessed. Used to smoke on cookies, now I'm stuck on this Gorilla Glue, the best. They told me I got it, how I kill these niggas lyrical. God ain't let me die, May 29, this shit a miracle, I'm blessed. My uncle say don't do the crime, you can't do the time. A lot of niggas see that time and they gon' drop a dime. They write a statement, then agree to sign a dotted line. Protect the custody where they put him when he go inside. They only wanna see you shine, knock you off your grind. Really witness these situations one too many times. Let it be known, niggas know that I ain't hard to find. Don't type my name in Google search, you think a nigga lying. And if I see it and I want it, then a nigga blind. Plus I can't wait to drop my Judah to go fuck with Shine. Reach for this chain and I'ma spank him with this baby 9. Can't wait to buy up all the land so I can call it mine. God ain't let me die, May 29, this shit a miracle, I'm blessed. Used to smoke on cookies, now I'm stuck on this Gorilla Glue, the best. They told me I got it, how I kill these niggas lyrical. God ain't let me die, May 29, this shit a miracle, I'm blessed. Baby, tell me how you want me.
Of course, we got to play, because you know I didn't know that at the beginning, so we got to play Money Combo. This is CP3's part-time.
Money.
Dumbass number 2.
Money.
That was real life shit.
I love that money.
Basically,
Money.
for a video shoot.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. You don't really want to play. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. And you don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. It's money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. Money, 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 make you shut your mouth. Don't never ever talk about it if you never had the clout. You don't know what to say, stay up out of my way. Cause money, 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 make me shut them off. Playing with this goonies, boy, I'm gonna have to make the call. Stay in bounds on your pivot, boy, if you gon' ball. Cause a lot of niggas be fake, and you really can't play. Cause we done got it out the mud, nigga, what you talking about? Screaming, oh my God, money got me pride. They living a lie, look into my eyes, they might seem surprised, this is homicide. We just multiply, we been on the rise. If we got some wings, fuck it, we gon' have to fly. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. Day in my life, I take me a different route. Use all my case, niggas on my face. You can get erased, what you talking about? Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. You don't really want to play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really want play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money is what I'm talking about. You never crossing these borders. I'm whipping it up, Gordon Ramsay. I swear that I'm cooking these orders. You talk about me, you better just hope that you can just really afford it. I'm ballin', I'm ballin', I'm winning, I'm winning. I'm feeling like Robert Horry. Nigga, I'm scoring. I count in the morning. They talk about me, then I gotta ignore it. My bitches be foreign. So independent, my money be corporate. These raps is boring. You hate me and I'm always gonna adore it. I'm smoking that soaring. She always go ahead and let me explore it. I call her my Dora. You can go and talk about me, I ain't flawless. I go put my all in. If a nigga talk about me, then I'm gone in. You know that I'm gone in. Jump in, take trips, Pompeii. All day, always keep 3 stacks like Andre. I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it, man. And you can never, ever, ever get rid of that. So watch what you say, and watch how you do. If you playing the game, then you play by the rules. Money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you been talking about. And you don't really want play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about. We don't really know what you always been talking about. And I don't wanna be the one who always really talk about. And you don't really want play. You don't know what to say. Cause money, 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 money's what I'm talking about.
So of course CP3 is not back.
Food involved.
Keep feeding his face.
So let's look Lady Antoinette because you know we can talk about Juneteenth because you know it doesn't involve white women. So I don't know CP3.
We know a little bit, but I don't know a lot about that.
You know how they be trying to invite white people to the show?
Yeah.
He one of the ones we got put out.
CP3 the type of dude that would invite a white girl with cornrows to your Juneteenth event.
Right.
And be like, what's wrong?
And be the
Yeah,
show.
for the cause though.
Nice. She got the cornrows.
And booty shows and hoop earrings.
And booty.
And bamboo earrings about 2 pairs.
Right. Right. Somewhere.
And I bet her name is Keisha. How you gonna get a white girl with a hood name?
I've seen them.
So how do you feel about this Juneteenth?
I feel like it's a long time coming. It's something that should have been done years ago.
Definitely.
Unfortunately, in this country, that's how it works for people of color, Black and brown people. Whatever that we feel like is important to us or that we may deserve or certain rights and liberties that we think that we should have as American citizens, it comes very late.
Yeah.
They move very slow. This is something that people have fought to make happen for years. So it is good to see that it's finally coming to fruition because this has been a long battle. And unfortunately, there are a lot of naysayers out here on both sides.
So I'm about to say something controversial.
Of course you will.
It's 151 straight with no chase.
Go ahead.
So one, I know the alphabet people about to hate me for what I'm about to say.
my.
For one, I think they need to move Pride Month to May. Because it was already Black Music Month, and then people don't even talk about that. And now, on top of Black Music Month, we're gonna have Juneteenth, Pride Month, and so it's just it's a lot of people overshadow as a Black because no disrespect. I can understand Pride Month. I can't relate to it because that's not me. I can relate to Black Music Month because that's the music I grew up with. I can relate to Father's Day because I've been a good uncle.
Well,
I can relate to Juneteenth because I'm a Black man. So I just think sometimes we just convolute everything in one month.
right.
And it's not done in. Ain't nothing else happening in the 4th of July. I don't even celebrate the 4th of July because that's not my freedom day.
That's true.
My people weren't free.
That's true.
It's a hypocrite day, to be honest. Because we singing about freedom, and
And they weren't free.
Yeah, the freedom only applied to a certain amount.
Actually, it only applies to white males.
Yeah. That's why I don't, and once again, that's why I don't celebrate President's Day, all that other shit, because it's propaganda. Because when you really learn the truth, well, why would I celebrate President's Day when these dudes own slaves?
Right. Well, unfortunately, the thing about June is that a lot of things have in June, including my birthday.
And my birthday.
Right, including our birthdays. They have a historical value.
Yes.
So the reason why Pride Month is in June is because something historic happened in June on June 28th.
Did not know that.
Yeah, for in Manhattan, the Stonewall uprising is what they called it. And the first parade was ever held for the LGBTQ community was in 1970 on the 1 year anniversary of the Stonewall uprising. So the reason why they have Pride Month in June, and of course I researched it because I was like, why is
You felt like I felt
Pride Month? Well, not felt like that,
But
but,
you-
it was
you-
just like it was
why?
curious,
Yeah.
you know, like why June? What's going on?
that's yeah. I didn't know that.
And so, and that's just the way that I operate. Like if I'm like, okay, well, Pride Month is in June, what's going on? You know, why did they choose June? Usually, I know based off the way this country is, it's usually some type of historical
Yeah.
background, and that's the reason why. But one thing I want to say is that I think that it's ironic that it's called Pride Month because you know a lot of the Christian community, they of course advise against their whole entire lifestyle.
Yeah.
And pride is literally one of the seven
Deadly sins.
So I think that that's kind of ironic. I mean, but I can't tell them what to call their month, but I just like, okay,
I mean, you know what? But this is why I love about the show because we learn something. It's open dialogue. We get to say what we want to say.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, I feel like June is packed. It's packed.
CP3, are you ready? Cause are you sweating?
Uncle Nearest had me.
Yeah, he was feeling away.
Had to feed the need of the
Are you looking for Auntie Nearest?
Yeah, Uncle Nearest smacked me in the back of the head. Had to go feed the need.
I mean, that's the way it is.
So-
Sometimes your ancestors speak to you in different ways.
Yeah, it's trying to tell you to leave them white women alone.
That's why he smacked you. He smacked you in the back of the head because of that.
So what are your thoughts on Juneteenth?
I mean, excuse me, like Lady Anthony said, it's been a long time coming. I mean, not to sound cynical, but it's a band-aid on a broken leg. I mean,
It is.
until we can actually have a real conversation, which a lot of people on both sides are too sensitive and too defensive to have. It's a touchy situation, but I mean, it's good to see, the government recognizing, some things finally, after years and years and decades of, people basically yelling at them and they talk, I don't understand what you're talking about. So, I mean, it feels kind of hollow, but I mean, it's something. I mean, you can always have something to celebrate. So, I mean, federal holiday, day off, why not?
Yeah, it's about progress. That's
Yeah.
how I look at it.
So CP3, we got a very special guest in the building.
Is there,
So we actually CP3, we give CP3 a lot of slack. CP3 did a good job. He actually brought a father.
yeah, try it, man. Try it. Since I'm not one.
That you know
That
about.
I know of. Thank you. Well, I like the father not on it.
Because you don't know.
Anything's possible, but my pull-out game is spectacular.
Okay,
So
you
Right.
can stop with that claim because we don't believe it.
I know you don't, but I do.
Dog,
I've been me. I know.
dog, you smoke too much weed. You smoke too much weed to have a
And drink. Let's
spectacular.
not forget the
Yeah.
drink. And you
Have you ever
forget
been
that
high
we
and drunk
know
when you had sex with a girl? And you gonna tell me being high and drunk you still had a great pull-out
Do
game?
you know who I am?
Dog,
Yes, that's why we're saying this.
I've been drunk and it's been hard to pull out.
This is
So
the
I
guy that practices his alphabet backwards just when he's high because in case he gets pulled over.
Okay, let me
Okay.
explain this to you. I am not a man. And if I were a man, I don't think I would trust my pull-out game. And I'm more responsible than you.
I'm an ex-Boy Scout. Responsibility.
Boy Scouts are some bullshit.
When it comes to the matter of the opposite sex
I already told
and
you.
dating,
Mr.
and,
Tingle Man.
you
Once
know,
you feel Mr. Tingle Man, you
the
get out.
fact that you said that lets me know that I'm more responsible.
It's
Lord,
because I
Mr.
know-
Tingleman,
Mr.
that's
you
what we
feel me?
on.
When you feel me? The guys know.
Mr. Tingle,
When
man.
It sounds like he got
That's the
confused.
actual medical
That's
term.
the medical term.
But that-
Mr. Tingle Man.
Here's the thing. That's not. You sound like a 2-year-old that has to go pee.
That's basically when you know to get the fuck out. Exactly.
So-
you understand.
So you telling me every
you
time
feel-
you tinkle, you
when
ran
feel
out,
Mr. Tingle, I get the fuck out. And that's why I'm
and you never had a slip up.
Nah.
You never had a chick lock
You
her
said
legs
no.
on you.
See, this is the thing. When I actually was trying to have a kid with a young lady.
No. You
But
never had.
You've never had
you-
a slip up. Nobody's ever gotten pregnant.
No females ever locked their legs on you.
Well, hold on. Let's go back. Nobody ever got pregnant.
See, that's to the request.
Did anyone ever get pregnant, Mr. Tingleman?
Yes.
Okay,
I
then.
didn't
Case
pull out.
closed.
But I didn't pull out though. I knew I didn't pull out.
So did somebody ever lock their legs on you,
Yeah, I've had that happen.
and you still pulled out?
I tried, but see, this is the
Mr.
thing. I had busted nut. In the
Oh,
rubber.
my God. Oh.
I took it off, and before I got a chance to clean off, she jumped back on, and that's how she ended up.
So she took it.
It's her fault.
It was, because she didn't give me a chance to clean off. She
Hold on. Was she 126 pounds?
She's about 130.
So 130-pound woman pinned you down to the ground,
Uh-huh.
No, she
You
just
took your
jumped.
men's.
Old boy was still,
Mhm.
and she just took it
and
from
she
you.
jumped on it before I got a chance to clean them off.
And she took it from
She did, though. She took it. I still feel dirty
Hey,
to this
There you
day.
go, being the victim
I
again.
feel like I need a hot shower right now.
Oh my God.
you. Okay, that's you. You ready to get to?
We don't
You
want to
wanna-
know
you
about your hot showers because I feel like
You want to introduce, I guess, CP3 because obviously you are 1-800-SIN.com.
Things happen, man. Life is funny. Yeah, we have a unique artist in the building. He's actually into more of a, I think this might be the first time for this show, more of a Christian rap with a, I don't want to say with a thuggish undertone,
So
but with real life
so
situations.
so you
a
want
Christian version of you? Is that
So-
what you're saying?
I guess
So you
can
wanna-
describe it.
you bought a Christian rapper while you were talking about Mr. Tingle Man.
I mean,
Good job.
Well, like I
He
said,
said that's life.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Things happen.
That's life.
But he's had an interesting background that I'm just learning about. I've met this young man, and let's go ahead and interview him and see what he's about, and see if we can check out some of his music.
So what's going on, sir? Introduce yourself.
Going on, everybody. Peace. You know, like he was saying, I wouldn't necessarily like to classify myself strictly as a Christian artist. I would say if it was anything, it'd be Christian, no denomination, not Baptist, Catholic, Mormon, all the different denominations. I'm in more to spirituality, you know, and different forms of enlightenment, not just Christianity as the base and whole, but yeah, that's the undertone. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much the whole basis and, of my foundation with music and speaking basically with people because I want to be, you know, speaking as well.
Okay, so let me want one favor. Move the mic closer to you.
That's better right there.
That's real good. That's real good. Yeah. That's the spot right there. We good. Yeah, so we good now. So you said spirituality.
Roger.
So religious wise, were you non-denomination or how do you look at yourself?
I mean, no denomination. When I was younger, I grew up in the church. Like my mom had me in the church a lot. I was and am very well versed on the biblical text, you know. But you know, as I got older, you know, I started to see a lot of, you know, pastors and preachers that are out here are actually, you know, not speaking enough truth, you know, in plain text. You know, they're reading so much what the Bible says this. Well, how can you break that down in correlation with the younger generations and the youth? You know, and how can you make them understand it in their daily lives and what actually they're seeing in aspects of their life daily? So, you know, I've had a lot of pastors and preachers. I've actually had, and this is, I'm every pastor and preacher that's ever met me and spoke with me told me I'm supposed to be a pastor and preacher, but I don't agree with their ways of teaching necessarily. Most, I'm not gonna say all, because I just feel like they're not just basically saying who's the real villain. If the biblical text is, I don't want to get too deep into that, but if the biblical text,
Why? We're on a radio show.
well,
This show is literally for us
We
to
need
talk.
to listen
well,
to you.
if the biblical text, is correct, then they say hair of wool, skin of bronze, right? So that would be our people. So like and I'm just telling the melanated beings, the people that are beat down, you know, it's really us that they're talking about and describing in the biblical text as God's people. They said that we will fall. That's why you have right now black on black crime. That's why you have us dehumanizing our women, you know, in our music, and you know, killing each other instead of going after the real enemy, instead of focusing on the real enemy, the people that are really harming us in our communities. So you know, that's why, like, instead of believing what they were saying, oh, Christian, that's the European way. That's what they told us when they told us that they came over here and they brought over slaves. No, they didn't bring over slaves. We were the indigenous Indians and beings here already. So you know.
Speak on it.
What's your IG, man?
Speak on that.
So,
Speak on
now,
it.
so I agree with most of the part, most of the, but I'm going to challenge you on some things right quick.
Right.
So, because my brother had this conversation when we was in Atlanta and stuff, and not every black person like has Indian in it. So, how do you feel like when you say like we were already here? Like, not a lot of us have Indian in it. So how were we already here?
What they classify as Indian. See, when they brought slaves over here, like, or when they just did slave trades in the 1800s in general, okay, they only brought and moved over to the Americas 387,000. This is in the national registry for the slaves that they have documented from traveling to the different parts of Europe and Americas. So with that being said, they had a thing where they had a lot of Caucasians claiming to be Indians. They were mixing with the Spaniards. That's why you see what they call the Native Americans. They look different. They look like a white person mixed with some form of Latino or Hispanic person. You know.
Yeah, they have a little bit of color. You're right.
Mongoloid, like a Alaskan
but,
stuff like that.
Yeah, but they're not. You don't really see like and that's not saying, because you know I believe the Hispanic Latino community is you know part of the melanated community. You know, so I feel like they have been trying to breed with our species, with the melanated being, because they want I want to stay on the.
I asked a question because I mean.
No. When he said something, I understand. And let me say this: we were here, and the reason why I say that is because the Africans were master shipbuilders. The reason why you see a lot of similarities between, especially Southern American, South America, like pyramids and things like that, you see them in both places, because Columbus didn't come to this area first.
No.
Okay? Africans had been back and forth. They traded with each other. So, yes, we were here first. So that's the main thing. I'm not sure if that's where you were going.
We were here first in every part and aspect of the world. Like our species, we're the creator beings. Like we are the true descendants and children of God. Like they have so many different spiritual texts, even like whether you're Buddhist. My most recent ex-girlfriend was actually Asian. She was a Buddhist. Whether you're a Buddhist, whether you're a Muslim and you follow the Quran, whether you're a Christian, any of the different denominations, whether you have no beliefs, you're atheist, or atheist is just not believing. Theology is based off of what they consider the Europeans aspect of spirituality. you know, and they've taken so many different aspects of supernatural abilities, technology, magic, and they made it Satanism, and they made it black magic, and they made it wickedness and voodoo. But they're actually been taking our knowledge and our information and using it to create and excuse me, dehumanize and this. I can't think of the actual word that I want to use right now, so I'm gonna just explain it a little bit more specifically. Okay, just like with television, you have television, which is where, you know, television programming. If I tell you that I'm telling you a vision and I'm programming you, what am I telling you? Television programming. So you already have TV programming right there. You have cell phones with, you know, what honing is and how they're honing your cells with using the cell. And we already know how there was a big deal about 5G, but they've been doing these things for years, subliminally putting messages and thoughts and subliminally changing the true spirituality and the true nature of the melanated beings to hold us down from actually reaching our God state, communicating with our ancestors and the one true God. You know, truly, we're not envisioning God or, you know, spirituality with us. We're not seeing our people as godly. We are the chaos dark beings. We are the ones that will bring plagues upon this world. That was our God. That's us. That's our heritage. That's who brought us into life, into consciousness, into existence. So, you know, denying that, you know, living, you know, like person like, and I believe the story of Jesus, but in the same sentence, I believe the story of Muhammad. You know,
So,
I believe the story of Buddha.
So let me,
You know, I believe that they're all.
So let me stop you right there. So most people don't realize Christianity teaches you should only deal with Christians. A true Muslim knows the Quran and the Bible. A Jewish person knows the Torah and he knows like the first 5 books of the Bible, the Old Testament.
The devil himself, based on text, knows the Bible.
So the thing is, it only Christianity would say you need to read one book, and that's the one book. You know, I've watched several speeches with Farrakhan, and he's quoted the Bible. I've seen Farrakhan in churches.
Farrakhan said he believed in Jesus.
Yeah. So, you know, a true Muslim knows both.
Well, here's the thing. You're saying a true Christian, according to teachings. Here's the thing. Unfortunately, what exactly is a true Christian? Okay, so a true Christian is supposed to be the person that's following the teachings of Christ, right? So, where are you getting this information? Are you getting the information from Christ? Are you getting the information from a king that told you this is what you read, this is what you listen to, this is what you do? So, unfortunately, there are many religions that over time people have attempted to taint.
Yes.
We hear about this all the time here in this country. We don't even have to go far. In this country, quite often people take the Christian principles and they twist them to be what they want, or what they want to teach, or what they want you to believe. Even the pictures growing up that I saw of Jesus was not Jesus according to the text that they had given to us.
Yes.
Okay. So with that said, Christianity speaks on beware false prophets. But when you really dig deep into Christianity, they're not telling you not to learn anything else. They're telling you to actually learn everything. They're telling you to know about other people, other religions. It even says that you're supposed to love your neighbor. If your neighbor is Muslim, you still love them.
Yes, correct.
So, with that said, sometimes the teachings don't go along with the text.
Well, one of the things is because the Bible That and the fact that the Bible that's here in America is incorrect. So there's the Bible in Ethiopia, which is 500 years older than the King James Bible.
Because King James picked that shit.
Exactly.
He didn't want people to know.
And it's the Ethiopian Bible is 500 years older, and it has more books that we never even got to read. So I thought that was, and I learned that like several years ago. And I actually listened. Damn, your Bible is 500 years old. They was like, yeah, it's 500 years older than that. And like, a lot of people don't even understand. I read a lot. So the oldest living, the oldest written name of God is Pala, which is similar to Allah. So that doesn't. We all speak different languages, so we're all not gonna call God the same.
Here's the thing: a lot of people believe that all these different religions are actually as a result of one thing.
The Tower of Babel.
And it's just how people
Perceive.
viewed it, how people perceived it, how they translated. I mean, growing up and in church, I heard Jehovah's Witness, they were bad.
Yeah.
And then a Jehovah's Witness said, a lot of Christians teach that what we do and what we talk about is bad. But what's the name of your God? In the Bible, one of the names of God is Jehovah. I was really young and I was taken aback, like, what? It really does say that in there. So that right there showed me that some of the things that I was taught wasn't necessarily straight out the Bible as to what you were saying.
And that's one of the biggest things I have right now. Like living even with my sister and my mom are two of the biggest Christians, and I swear I love them to death. They keep me prayed up. They're always praying for me and well being in my life, But I think they're hypocrites. I think they're hypocritical. And I'm gonna say this word very like I want to say like they're not understanding of like truth, because like they think that like if anyone's not like if like my mother heard that my ex-girlfriend was a Buddhist, and she was like, well, if she doesn't praise Jesus, she don't believe in Jesus like this, and I don't want to deal with nothing like this and this and this and that. And I'm like, well, how do you know? So like if she's out there like giving the clothes off her back to people, feeding homeless people every day, you know what I'm saying? If she's treating me more right than any female I've ever been with, in versus to all these other females who were supposedly Christians, they're Christians, they supposed to read the Bible. Because I'm big on spirituality, so I had a lot of different situations. So I asked girls, what their spiritual standings are, and it's just different for me,
Well, the funny thing is always we have these conversations, especially with older folks, and they make statements that I need like, I used to quote certain things to them, and they used to get mad at me. So people do that, I'd be like, well, damn, I had a great conversation with my late grandfather one day. I hopped back to New York after being away for like 5 years, and the first thing my grandfather, and I love him to death, Grandpa Jones, he looked at me, he said, when was the last time you been to church? I said, well, it's been a while, Grandpa. And he looked at me and he was like, well, the Bible says you should follow yourself with, believers. You should fellowship with believers and stuff. And I said, well, Grandpa, I understand that. So let me rebuttal. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, the Bible does say that. And I was like, the Bible also says, I should keep the temple clean and all this other stuff. And he was like, yeah. I was like, well, that temple is not a man-made building. That temple is my body. I said, the temple came from a human. My body came from God. And he was like, well, I never thought about it that way. And I said, as far as fellowship of believers, I said, me and these guys are they believe we believe the same, and they're on the same path that we are. So what the hell?
I don't know.
I don't know what I did.
But he's trying to backhand people, and
he's trying to backhand you.
He know better. He's gonna get cut.
Sometimes we have to dine backhand.
So I was, I told, basically, and after I had this conversation, then my uncle, who's Muslim, jumped in, my Uncle Junior, and he was just like, no, he's making a point. And, and I said, Grandpa, there's nothing wrong with people that go to church. However, for me, At this particular point in my life,
Mhm.
that's just not what I want because there were too many hypocrites in church. There were too many people that forget the phrase, that forgets the passage of judge not or he shall be judged. And then they judge people all the time. You know, if I walk in with tattoos, you're judging me as a thug. I could be an honor roll student.
Mhm.
You know, I could walk in just because I walk in. Damn, you all right, bro? Somebody call 911. Woo woo! But I could, just because if I walk in with a dress shirt and you can't see my tattoos, that doesn't make me any less religious. Yeah. Well, I used to wear jeans to church. You know,
It says come as you are.
but people forget that.
Yeah, okay. Because here's the thing:
Yeah.
what we are being taught is not necessarily the teachings of Christ.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because
People tend to really forget the whole purpose of it. It is come as you are. But how many black churches growing up that you knew you better not come
as you are.
Yeah, you come in your Sunday's
Your
best. And that is not the Bible. That's actually just tradition.
Exactly.
It's a difference.
So people forget when you read the Bible and stuff that Jesus actually prophesied to the beggars, to the homeless people. He didn't do.
And you're supposed to go in these
the prostitutes,
areas.
yeah.
And that's the thing. You're supposed to go into these areas and still teach the word of God. You're supposed to still teach. If you're a Christian, you're still supposed to give them the word. So as to what you were saying in reference to your last girlfriend, your job as a Christian is to tell her the good news. Okay? That's what you're supposed to do as a Christian. You're not supposed to say no to her.
But I don't like it's like her to like tell her the good news though, but like what she believes in, I believe like could be like true as well.
Yep.
So like I couldn't really like necessarily tell like it's just like me embracing like good people like in like energy and vibrations like because like the way that like English and like anything that's European or English made I discredit because like just even in the English literature, the three biggest things that I study is numerology, the study of numbers, etymology, the study of words, and symbology, the study of symbols. Like, you look at the word live backwards, evil, right? Simple, man did that, right? But live backwards is devil, right? Simple, man did that, right? God, you take out of good and it's God, you know, and the same for, you know what I'm saying, evil, you know, devil, you know, and it's like a play on words, but even how like we're made up of water, right? Like we're made up of, they say how much percent water? 88. I've heard 86 up to 96% before, but
I'm 80% alcohol.
Let's
That's a problem. That's a problem. That's why our shows go the way that they go. Okay? Just to let y'all know.
Hey, we gotta get back into it. I gotta break out because I gotta get back to work. Dude, speaking the truth. Take your time. Keep studying, bro. Keep seeking the truth. You got it, man. Like I hear it in you. I see the light in you too, man.
So I'll give you his information. My man Super Dave does the Neighbors podcast. He does his own podcast.
You gonna do it tomorrow? What you gonna do? I'm gonna see you the link.
Oh yeah, will you do it tomorrow?
Yeah. Boss lady gonna be on there too.
All right, cool. I got you.
Man, I'm gonna get you.
So
Shout out.
Shout out to Super Dave Neighbors podcast, and I will be on the Neighbors podcast tomorrow at 7
p.m. Facebook.com/neighbors/the neighbors podcast. I'll put the link up. No worries.
There you go. Put it in the comments.
I definitely will.
There you go.
All right, cool. One of my favorite podcasts. So I would support. I really like talking interesting stuff. So we don't. When we don't have, it's not the whole cookie cutter interview. That's why I was on prep. Are you sure you're gonna ready? Because I'm just shooting from the hip.
This right here is something that the black community needs to have a conversation.
Exactly.
And that's why I'm trying to preach to like the youth. You know what I'm saying? I might look like a baby, but I'm actually 30 years old and.
Okay. What?
I'm actually. I know because I look like, you know what I'm saying.
No. Back up. Yeah, let's back up. Okay. First of all, I might look like a baby, but I'm 30 years old. You still a baby.
Well, I mean, that's still like, you know,
Even though
still
I
like a
claim
baby,
25.
but, you know.
Even though I claim 25.
I mean, I got bad dreams at 30 years old.
Oh, you know. But I mean, but I understand what you're saying.
CP3 has a 15-year-old son.
Probably a 30-year-old one too.
I'm still tripping out.
He might have a 30-year-old.
I'm still tripping out the 25-year-old comment about that.
I don't care.
Oh, is
Tell
that
me.
shit?
Tell
Is
me.
that shit?
I ain't saying you wrong. I'm just like, I'm doing my man. Like,
What?
Did he bring out the
I could be 25. Let me tell you something. My daughter will be 20 this year. And every time I say that, people look at me like, what? See, there you go. So don't hate on me when I say I'm 25. Hey, mine's your business.
I'm gonna let you go.
Like,
It's a lot of
security.
Yo, I know CP3, I know you feeling for it because you don't see the bracelet, but you don't know what's in the bag.
no, this was in the bag.
Oh shit!
Got my live feed, so we got anything happen to me, y'all know who I'm talking to.
She pulled it.
He was trying to backhand me, remember? So I sat right here like this. Y'all missed it. He looked down like, oh. He started trying to scoot away from me. I ain't playing with him.
I may have to grab my taser.
Oh, you gonna have to grab it. I already got my stuff.
What is this, water roses?
A few.
No, you won't. Them shits hurt.
And I know where to stab you.
Oh Lord, can we get back to our guest?
That makes it premeditated.
No.
Nigga, did your voice just change again? God.
As he drinking the Uncle Nearest that I gave.
Am I on camera?
Okay, you still on
Yeah,
camera.
you on camera.
You still on
You and
camera.
Candy.
Ah. Yeah. But now when we got the guests, we tend to keep the guests on
Yeah,
camera.
we got you on
Every
camera.
now and then we change it up, but
See,
yeah.
you gotta understand that.
Hey, bro.
While you on camera, I got this man over here drinking, which is also, a blood thinner, and off camera, and then just in case something go down, the camera on you. You see what I'm saying?
I'm still recording my backup drive.
Yeah, but
You might not see it live, but they see it soon. Somebody call
Alright.
Perry Mason.
So
Perry Mason. See, he done had too much drink.
Perry Mason, man, I love
He just said something about
my
Perry
mama was
Mason.
watching Perry Mason, so I was watching Perry Mason.
you watch a lot of white shows about the law.
Because you gotta learn the law.
How you a thug that watches white shows about the law the damn time?
I stay out of jail.
What? Didn't you just never?
Never mind. Anyway.
We're gonna talk to this young man over here. You still on camera?
You still on camera, Pete?
This is a babe, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
You a father, right?
Right.
So happy Father's Day. Happy Father's
Appreciate
Day.
that, man. Appreciate that. 100%.
We got like 16, 17.
Yeah, I'm working on it, man. But right now, I only got. I'm gonna say I have 4, but I have 3 and a stepdaughter. You know what I'm saying? So.
That's a fact.
Well, I mean, look, if you claim it, you claim it.
That's your baby.
That's your
You
baby.
have an impact on her life. So that's
know.
good. But I have questions. So you got questions? 'Cause I got questions.
You go first.
You know I got a question.
I know you got questions.
All right,
Let's
man.
go.
I got 2 questions, but I'm gonna ask the first one since it's Father's Day. We want to focus on the fatherhood. Okay. So, as far as your children, our goal as parents is to raise them, guide them, so that they can become productive and successful adults. I tell my kids that all the time. So it may sound rehearsed, but I say it all the time. With that said, what are some key things that you feel that you need to teach your kids, and then to all the fathers who are watching, it could be something that you would advise them to teach theirs as well?
Talk to CP3.
Yeah. So tell him how he, something that key
Just
thing.
like, for me, like, just love them, like, you know what I'm saying? Love them, like, embrace them, like, you know what I'm saying? Love that child, you know what I'm saying? Just, and just teach them what's real, teach them to be loved, I was fortunate to have, a good dad. He passed away in 2013, but my father was my father was love and showed me love. You know, he showed me how to be a loving man. Even though he had mistakes, he was a flawed man. He made plenty of mistakes. He did bad things. You know, as a good
None
man.
of us are perfect.
You know. So he
Shout out to CP3.
I tried though. I tried.
Oh, and two, shout out to my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Happy Father's Day to both my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Well, to all my brothers.
Yes.
But really just you know, an aspect because I have 3 daughters. You know, just teach them how a man should love them. You know, 100%. Teach them, you know, like, and then but then teach them, you know, like really like the thought process of men, you know, and just like, you know, help them to understand life, you know, because they're going to be in situations, you know, we're fathers, but we can't, you know, follow our children everywhere. Just like, you know, I had to live my own life and go travel the world and do whatever I've done. You know, I expect, you know, my children to grow and do the same, you know.
Right.
So it's just about, you know, teaching them, you know, how to handle different situations and just understanding men and knowing men and just, you know, teaching them how to, you know, be just be, you know, love and good woman, you know. And you know, they might make mistakes, they might, you know, have flaws, you know, and everyone's going to, you know, but I just feel like, you know, just guiding them about, you know, just truly how I think that's the biggest thing, and that's why I feel that is lacking with the community in the African American home. Fathers being there, like black fathers being there, and really just, you know, teaching like their
Just calling you out,
daughters too,
CP3.
like. There's so many like black women in this world that are just bitter with men, you know, sperm donor and just like this, you know, about their, you know, fathers. And you know, like there's a lot of good, you know, black men, you know, and the world is different right now, so it's important that, you know, teaching your little girl love and men and the way of the world, so later on in life, you know, that can spread just one whole level of consciousness and growth within the community in the long term and development. Because, like, you know, because when it's all said and done, this life means nothing. This life that my children live means nothing for them if I don't give them a spiritual body and something to truly hold on to, something of, you know what I'm saying, substance truly, you know. But you know, in this aspect, just teaching them how to maneuver in this world, in this dimension, you know, how to understand different aspects and vibrations, speaking of vibrations, people's vibes, you know, understand vibrations, and you know,
Okay.
and just
I like that. I like that. I like that. You got any questions, CP3?
Just
Besides, how can you find your lost kids? Oh, Lord.
I mean, you know, might be an NFL prospect out here. Nah.
You know what? You know
Did you just put a Shaq's daddy?
You know what, CP3? I don't know if he was joking or did you say kind of serious, though?
Because I always think about it.
But the crazy thing is, we do see that in real life, and you know, I feel like you've commented on that.
I contributed. He got my dream.
No,
I did my part.
you get shade. That's what you get.
Where you get Tyler from? Didn't get it from his mama.
You know what? You know what, CP3?
How you know?
She wasn't a linebacker.
That don't mean she ain't had a talent. I wasn't a linebacker either, but guess what?
You ain't square.
I could take somebody. You forgot who you talking to. I used to stay playing football with the boys from the neighborhood. I done got off many hits that they were too embarrassed to let people know it.
My supposed impossible, baby. Ain't nothing in square that play football. I ain't date you. All right,
You right, Lord, because you wouldn't be here today to talk about it.
I feel threatened. Security.
I mean, well, I mean, I know you to pieces, but I'm telling you, I'm still shocked that nobody stabbed you.
I told you I don't have those bad things happen to me because I'm always up front. I might be a sorry motherfucker, but I'm an honest sorry motherfucker.
Did you just say?
He did. He said it.
You know, CPD. I don't know. So, how has being a father changed you from from when you were in the fall?
My last one, I love all my daughters to death. Like,
Wait, you got all daughters,
my oldest
You
is
got
seven.
her.
but you got all girls.
Yeah, all girls.
Jeez.
All three girls.
You was a
Yeah.
player.
We're gonna go ahead and pray for you.
Yeah, but my youngest one, she broke my heart, and I feel like she showed me I don't know, she broke my heart, and I've already had two daughters, so it was just she really just broke my heart, and she's actually the one to have, and she's just precious, and she just she opened me up to I can't, is it agape, the word in the Bible,
Mhm. Agape
the
love.
love,
Yeah.
she she's my twin. She has the same astrological sign as me as
Okay.
well, and
And
that
what's
was
that?
crazy, Scorpio.
Okay.
No,
Your water sign.
So you got a
This
Vinci
one over.
Street.
That's see. When's your birthday? Because that's the first thing I asked. What you and CP3 have?
November 19th.
I'm 50.
I know.
So you were horror recovery back in the days? Don't answer that.
So here's the thing. When they asked what you guys have in common, the first thing I said was your birthday because you gave me that vibe. Maybe that's why. Mm-hmm.
Did you have a nickname of Feet? Because his nickname was Foots.
Y'all too much. Y'all got stuff in common.
And he got cornrows.
And I feel like he got some daughters out here because of how he acted.
You know what? CP3, if you had a kid, I bet you it'd be a daughter. It wouldn't be a son. You know why? Because you do
too much like right.
You do too much janky shit.
I don't want to go made me out there.
We would pray. We would pray that you wouldn't have another kid, a son.
I mean, it would be cool to have 4.
The number 4.
You probably have to change your name because I'm sure his name is Foots Jr.
Still be CDP.
Foots Jr.
So
if you have a son named Foots, please
they do say
call
that,
us or email us.
They do say that your children break your heart. That's what they do.
They do what?
They break your heart, your children.
Well, I'm hoping that I can teach my daughters not to excuse me, hold on, sorry. I don't. I'm hoping that I can teach my daughters and guide my daughters not to maneuver in a way to break my heart, but they could break my heart. But what's breaking my heart? Breaking my heart in the world. Well, but if they don't break my heart spiritually, then they can never break my heart. As long as they try to grow and develop mentally and spiritually, and try to be beings of love and peace. No matter what mistakes they make, they might be the worst person in the world. Even like Hitler. People talk about how Hitler did this to Germany. He put babies in ovens and stuff like that. But I guarantee you, Hitler had people that loved him, a mother, a auntie, a cousin, a nephew, sisters, whoever, all the family. He had people that loved him. So it's like to each their own. Because what someone see as a bad person, or
Some I'm gonna see you like this. You trying to get this band and shot off.
I'm sorry.
Jewish people will not play that Hitler shit.
I'm sorry. I'm just not. No.
I get what you. I get what you're saying.
No, but he's saying regardless of how bad the person is, there are people who love them.
Yeah, somebody loves
CP3. But that's heartbreaking. I'm sure that there are people who loved Hitler, who his family members, he broke their heart.
Yeah.
Because look at what he did. So it's real.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. There are some wayward people that still love me.
There are people who love CP3.
Ain't too many.
It's people who love him.
Preferably a redhead about 5'5", weighing 130.
It's people and Hitler had a family. He didn't come out of nowhere. He didn't just drop off the sky. So I get it. I get what you're doing.
So I don't think I don't they might think that your kids are gonna break your heart because I feel like I may have broken my mother's heart. I may not have gone in the direction or done the things that she may have wanted me to done or moved away in the direction she may have wanted me to go. So it's really just about individual because like this is our creation. You know, the way I see it is like everything that you're seeing, you create. You created this reality. This is like your lesson, and vice versa for me. Like we're all like envisioning our aspect of life. So it's like what we're gonna achieve and gain from it. So it doesn't matter. Like even like as our children, like I can say my mother and my father didn't give me this and this and this and this and that, but then like what it's my life to live, you know. So in most aspect, it's important for them to develop and grow, you know, and have their own personal experience in this life. So as long as they are spiritually at peace and you know have some type of true spiritual connection to the Most High, the higher power of God, you know, then
Kind of like the first 4 books in the New Testament.
I mean, I really wouldn't. I mean, like, I'm not really a big Bible thumper nowadays, just because like they just say if you don't believe the biblical text or if you praise a different God, because actually one of my best friends he believes in. I really don't even want to get into it.
Well, you ain't open up the door now.
He wears like the whole Bahamut chain. He got the Bahamut ring and everything like that. His wife's actually Indian. He you know actually dabbles in a bunch of different gods, deities, and entities. You know, and he actually you know like even like shrooms and like acid. There was different forms in DMT. There was different forms of opening your pineal gland. Back in the day, like that they didn't talk about in these ancient, you know what I'm saying, Egyptian, you know what I'm saying, cultures that they were actually using to enlighten themselves and actually become one with the universe. You know, universe means una means body, and then una means one, and then verse means song, so one song. So in the universe, so we're trying to get on that one song, that same like frequency. So that's like with the whole like the wavelength, and that's why like they say people on acid and shrooms are like, hey man, like trippy. They think that they are like wiped out, but like it's actually like becoming one with like the world, understanding that everything comes like 360. We're all created from the same thing. So it's like the yin and the yang still comes from the body of God. Like the ultimate high, the actual creator of everything was like, what's the worst thing I could think of? The worst, absolute worst thing I could think of. Okay, I'm gonna create that. I'm gonna create 1 million of them. Now, what's the best thing I could think of? I'm gonna create 1 million of them, and I'm just gonna have all these bodies of creation from me. So when they say you go back to the light, you ultimately go back to the source, you know. And that's like for the melanated beings, we are the source. We are connected to the source, you know. That's why we're the most loving, caring, and giving beings, and we keep forgiving these people and these races and nationalities for committing these heinous crimes against us. We won't stand up for our own people.
Well, I brought up the first 4 books of the Bible, and you spoke of how people perceive things. You live in your life. I'm living mine. We're going through the same experiences, but it's different things. So Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they each wrote about the same things, but from their perspective. So that's the reason why I brought it up.
Okay, that's deep. It's deep.
But I feel you.
I'm think about to play some music now.
Okay.
So we're gonna play another good father. Shout out to my man Jay Problems. He's about to get back on the road. He had suffered a broken foot. Several months ago, he had his baby girl. He's won contests. He actually won a belt, and he took a picture with the baby girl laying next to the belt. So salute. We're gonna do his joint Handle Me. And then we'll play. Oh, then we gotta play Go Villain after that, who's also another good father.
Mr. Villain.
I told him to come through, but he was doing something for Father's Day.
Says on the beat, boy.
Hey, let me holler at y'all for a second. Like, I don't know what it is. They got y'all thinking I just started doing this shit. But a nigga been out here with this music, bro. Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, I just feel like y'all trying to handle me. If it's a party, let's get it started. Y'all know I've been retarded with the beef like I work at Arby's. This word done turned me heartless. Y'all say barking but never bite. Sound like you niggas starving. I'ma keep quiet and eating good till I pull off a Ferrari. Yeah. Y'all some small town niggas. I got bigger dreams. And if I look like a sweet lick, bitch, you seeing things. Is he mad cause I'm banging this bitch like she a tambourine? She mad too cause I refuse to let any bitch handle me. Handle me. No, I can't let nobody handle me. Handle me. I think they mad cause they can't handle me. Handle me. No, I can't let nobody handle me. Lord forgive me, I kill them before they handle me. I ain't gon' lie, you niggas tried to handle me a few times. Been around a while, but they treating me like the new guy. Word around town is that nigga Jay and his crew file. I'ma let you niggas shine, cause I know I'ma shine in due time. Meanwhile, I'ma keep dropping these hits consistently. Back to back like a virus, they gon' get sick of me. Had to get my image up, now I'm fresher than Listerine. I keep the green, and a few bad bitches to pick between. Handle me, never, can't see myself letting you do that. For another nigga rob me, I'm sending shots at his do-rag. You don't wanna tussle, I beat a bitch nigga blue black. So bad when your own niggas see you, they asking who that. If it's a party, let's get it started. Y'all know I've been retarded with the beef like I work at Arby's. This word done turned me heartless. Y'all say barking but never bite. Sound like you niggas starving. I'ma keep quiet and eating good till I pull off a Ferrari. Yeah. Y'all some small town niggas. I got bigger dreams. And if I look like a sweet lick, bitch, you seeing things. Is he mad cause I'm banging this bitch like she a tambourine? She mad too cause I refuse to let any bitch handle me. Handle me. No, I can't let nobody handle me. Handle me. I think they mad cause they can't handle me. Handle me. No, I can't let nobody handle me. Lord forgive me, I kill them before they handle me. Lord forgive me, I kill them before they handle me. Been betrayed by many and that's including my family. Yeah, I know they scheming, they see my trap jumping trampoline. It's 40 I got on me to challenge whoever challenge me. Don't believe I pop this bitch off for free like a jamboree. I'm on the spree of folding bitch niggas that's trying to come between. Being a niggas, we a team and we got hella chemistry. He get what I did, I go get him back and then we repeat. No make believe, we done created all type of memories. All my niggas dead against somebody penitentiary. I'm just trying to get it for my kids, but yet they hinder me. And that's why I feel like I got few friends and many enemies. If it's a party, let's get it started. Y'all know I've been retarded with the beef like I work at Arby's. This word done turned me heartless. Y'all say barking but never bite. Sound like you niggas starving. I'ma keep quiet and eating good till I pull off a Ferrari. Yeah. Y'all some small town niggas. I got bigger dreams. And if I look like a sweet lick, bitch, you seeing things. Is he mad cause I'm banging this bitch like she a tambourine? She mad too cause I refuse to let any bitch handle me. Handle me. No, I can't let nobody handle me. Handle me. I think they mad cause they can't handle me. Handle me. No, I can't let nobody handle me. Lord forgive me, I kill them before they handle me. Handle me.
Like when he told Little Mama.
She had a young struggle phase.
She had a young
That's off the chain.
Yeah, you know.
Billy Django, Philly Furious. I am that one nigga.
When you hot like this, can't stop. You know Bo can't stop. How many rappers in my city? How come I don't know about 'em? Finesse in the plug, huh? Still selling them dubs, huh? He drunk trying to bust some. You sure on my hush, you ain't seen shit, here goes some hush money. If I say it's up there, then it's up there, and it's stuck there. No, it's up there, so it's stuck there. Stop gassing, you know that we cool. Stop geeking for clout, cause you throwing me off. Name roll up for tongue like it's bean on her tongue. High class shit, prices in dollars and Hemis. Fuck on that hoe, got a quote on my Jimmy. I butcher this shit cause I slaughter like Benny. Every nickel, dime, penny, hottest in my fucking city.
Look at me now, this is right now, and I feel like Greg Gambino. Can't stop my shine, can't block my shine. I linked up with Pacino. Money racks up blowing pounds, and we shoot that shit like B-roll. Shoot that shit like B-roll. Shoot that shit like B-roll.
When you hot like this, can't stop. You know Bo can't stop. How many rappers in my city? How come I don't know about 'em? Finesse in the plug, huh? Still selling them dubs, huh? He drunk trying to bust some. You sure on my hush, you ain't seen shit, here goes some hush money. If I say it's up there, then it's up there, and it's stuck there. No, it's up there, so it's stuck there.
quiet, the plug, the front of the pound. I get that bitch and I'm breaking it down. I done shipped him to Scotland and came back with pounds. I done slipped in that pussy, your boy almost drowned. How you fuck with that nigga? I heard he a clown. When I hit from the back, she say, Swan, you the goat. Want me to choke her, this dick in the throat. She love the way that I stroke. Put it up in her, she crying, I stop and she laughing, that shit ain't no joke. These bitches be playing too much, I'm just saying, little bitch, don't you try it no more. I got them peas for the low. He actin' fishy, you know he ain't served. No, he can't reach, so we rolled to the curse. Gave him 50 till bro, don't be worried. Keep it a hush, and if not, we gon' hurt. My young boy so childish, that young boy be wildin'. I told that young boy, don't you serve at the church. He wants some side, told him meet me at church. You ain't got the whole 50, you know we gon' curve. I done trapped me a bag, took my baby to church. Then went back to the trap, cop the bird, bitch, I'm lured.
When you hot like this, can't stop. You know bro can't stop. How many rappers in my city? How come I don't know about 'em? Finesse in the plug, huh? Still selling them dubs, huh? He drunk tryna bust some. You show him a hush, you ain't seen shit, it was some hush money. If I say it's up there, then it's up there, and it's stuck there. No, it's up there, so it's stuck there.
I got a lock around my heart just to keep it safe. And I don't know why you're so surprised when you made me feel this way. I know I can do better. I know I can have better. I know I can do better. I will always choose me over you. I refuse to let you treat me any kind of way. How you gon' rip my heart apart and ask me to stay? I know I can do better. I know I can have better. I know I can do better. I will always choose me over you. I don't really care how many times you apologize. It could never make up for all the tears that I cried. I know I can do better. I know I can have better. I know I can do better. I will always choose me over you. You gon' regret the days that you abused my love. You gon' regret the days that you ripped my heart apart. You gon' regret the days that you abused my love. You gon' regret the days that you ripped my heart apart. I can do better, better than you. I can have better, better than you, boy. I will always choose me over you, over you.
That's so hard. That's what I'm saying.
Yo, okay. That was a new video. So I saw this young lady on Alana DeVille's page. I think it's like Mimi Copeland, I believe. And she had a new video premiering the other day, which was her birthday on Juneteenth. So I saw the video. I was like, okay, we'll play it. Definitely, shout her out and stuff
We
like
got a
that.
vibe to it.
It do. Of course, you know that's not CPD's thing because any video talking about a bad nigga in a relationship, he done been there and did that.
I used to be that dude. So, you know, it hit home sometimes. I don't even get the chance no more. See, that's the thing that's funny.
But
when I
okay,
wasn't,
not having a chance to still being that dude are two different things. I just asked you the question. You used to be that dude, or you just haven't had an opportunity?
to be to show that I'm a good dude, I'm better dude.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know, things is crazy right now.
Mhm.
Yeah, the relationship game is crazy.
Mhm.
That's all I can say. I ain't even off of the
Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, we.
But,
I don't know if we can handle.
See, I've been trying to chill this show. So.
Yeah, you have. We have.
Exactly.
So we need to give you Uncle Maris more.
I'm
More
I'm
often.
just chilling.
You full.
Yeah, I'm full. I'm in the zone right now. But yeah, it's kind of crazy right now with the whole dynamic of relationships, with the whole technology and, you know, folks sliding folks DMs and trying to be faithful. Like, folks don't know how to be faithful no more. That's what they me out.
But
Do you slide
can
in
we?
DMs?
Well, I'm single. I can slide anywhere I want to.
But if you in a relationship, would you slide in somebody's DM? Is that cheating?
Back in the old days, yeah. Now, I wouldn't do that.
Maybe they just smell the cheat on you.
I mean, that's possible. I did a lot of things.
So,
I did a lot of things.
so if your girl, you in a relationship with a girl, right? And she slides in another dude's DM, what's the course of action?
We have a situation.
Are we breaking up? We ain't talking. We having a conversation.
You acting the fool. You slashing tires. What you
Nah,
What's going on? What's going on?
I'm of the mindset, you know, if it ain't meant to be, it ain't meant to be. I ain't gonna get mad, emotional, and start cussing and fussing. I mean, you know, you ain't the chick for me. I'm not gonna do nothing to get me no charge. So I'm gonna just let it go. As long as, you know, just roll.
Okay, you too petty for that. What you gonna do? Tell us the truth.
What you really gonna do?
In my past, yeah, I used to do some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Like I smashed her friend.
Or her mama.
Or
Her
sister.
mama was nice, yeah. But I mean, I don't do that anymore.
Did you ever take gifts back?
He didn't give the gifts in the first place.
But,
That much I know.
I mean, I gave some gifts.
Lady Antoinette, did you really have to put him on blast like that?
I mean, I'm just being rude.
I have given some gifts, but
When?
Besides Dick?
Right, because that's not considered a gift for real. No.
Just because you wrap it up in a condom, don't make it.
He was remember what was that Justin Timberlake? He had it in the box.
Yeah, I wanted to. But
A bow. Don't nobody.
But yeah, well, my girlfriend, when she got the job at in Houston, we drove down there. I bought her a TV for a living room, bought her a bed for a new apartment, and we went out to one of those fancy ass Texas steakhouse.
Well, you was balling, huh?
Almost $300 for 2 people. I was like, God.
So you bought the TV.
TV, bought a bed.
The bed.
And
you knocked them boots that night, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, she was taking care of me. Actually, she was making 6 figures. I mean, I'm texting once a month.
I keep telling you, why didn't you marry that girl?
Because he's a hoe.
No, it was
Shout out to Houdini. I'm a hoe. You know I'm a hoe.
We had a 6-year relationship and we weren't in the same state for longer than a month throughout our whole 6-year relationship.
Okay, why you ain't just moving?
Because a certain company, when I tried to transfer to Houston, wouldn't allow the transfer to go through when I was trying to make that move.
So why don't you just split and then find
because I was going to get my fucking 20 years. I wasn't leaving without my 20 years.
He was almost.
Dog. A real woman making 6 figures versus you getting your 20 years.
Well, she actually, all right, not to get too much into detail, we had a rule that she couldn't be another female unless I was there, and I couldn't be another female unless she was there. She went to her school reunion, but before she went, she asked me the question, would I mind if her and her ex-girlfriend hooked up? I told her, if I'm not there, what does that tell you? No. And, you know.
And she did.
Yeah.
So you broke up with her because
no, we didn't break up.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We're missing an important question here. How many chicks did you smash?
Well, this is the one that was sending her girlfriend to take care of me.
That's not what I'm asking. How many chicks did you smash out of the relationship?
I didn't because she was sending her girlfriend.
Okay, but she wasn't there. So how many times did you smash off somebody Because how do you know that's not a test?
How do you know that she sent her girlfriend that day? Her girlfriend might just came over for some dick.
No, we talked about it.
Right, but how do you know that wasn't a test? Her sending her girl there. First of all, if y'all had a rule,
We talked about that.
if y'all had a rule that you couldn't smash nobody, right, unless she was there, she could easily test that theory. Hey, I'm gonna send my girl over there to take care of you. She ain't there, so technically that's against the rule. So, but when she asked you, so y'all can talk about it, if she can go smash off her ex-girlfriend, you said no.
But she
that happened before that situation.
Okay.
So this is when she was in Africa for 6 months at a time, and that's why she
So-
allowed me to do that. because
So,
she was
but I'm just saying, dog.
But she had made that mistake before.
Dog.
We stayed together after that.
Dog, you literally got a girl that's sending you girls.
That's why we didn't break up.
But listen, you sending you girls and smash. And she said, "Can I go smash my ex chick?"
That's what I said. The part
And you couldn't-
is that happened before she
Okay.
was doing that.
Okay.
So, but at the same time, I feel as though she was willing to put more into the trust thing than you.
No, because I wasn't cheating. She did that on her own. But she like, I know how you are.
I wasn't.
So I'm gonna do this
So
because
she accepted you for being a hoe.
basically, yeah.
But you didn't accept her for being.
I did, but the fact that we spoke about it before she left, and she did it anyway, and they tried to cover it up.
How'd you find out?
She came back home and she ain't want no dick.
I don't know what's wrong with her.
Yeah, because that's all she was talking about until the 12 hours when I didn't hear from her. Then all of a sudden she come home, she ain't want no. Like, you could at least disguise it, man. You could at least something.
Wow.
So she would have sucked you to forgave her faster.
I let it go. I told you I'm a victim of head. I'm sorry. Can't turn it down. It's my weakness, dog. I'm sorry. It's the way it is.
Even if you're in a relationship.
But it was her giving me it.
You know,
Am I wrong?
I love
I
these
choose to
conversations.
forgive.
I love these conversations because they always go to left field.
That was getting
So
so many.
ratchet.
I mean, I was getting so many perks out of the situation. Like I said, I couldn't be mad. If it happened, I was in my feelings because I didn't get none when she came back home.
So you not mad. Oh, time out. You not mad that you did it. You mad because you couldn't get no when
Yeah,
you got.
I mean, it was another chick. It was another dude. That probably would have been blown. It was another chick. I ain't really tripping. I was just
But you mad because he didn't give you.
I was being good. I didn't do nothing wrong. I deserved to get that nut off.
You couldn't wait a day?
Why should I? I would wait 4 days when she was gone. She got hers off when she was out. Why can't I get by? I was being,
Y'all see what I be talking about?
I was forgiving.
So that fifth day would have gave you blue balls or something?
I'm just saying.
I guess he thought he was about to die.
I was in my, I'm still in my 20s, man. You know, I was a different person then. I was
The
doing
fact
something.
that you can never admit that you're wrong
Hell,
makes
I'm not
people.
wrong with
Hey,
that
hold on.
situation.
Let me say this. Every time we have these discussions, you're never at fault. That's how you always defend yourself.
How was I
The,
wrong?
hold on. The fact that you always defend any action, no matter what it is, no matter what, you smashed the married lady on the parking lot
Of the church.
It was not the parking lot.
Daycare.
It was the parking lot next to the church.
It was the church
That they own.
daycare.
That they
Okay, and that they own.
And I
So
didn't
therefore,
smash.
it
I
is
just got some dome. Not
okay. The fact that you defend this type of behavior makes people, meaning us, think that you are
Bill
literally
Clinton
the
ass
same
nigga.
type of person.
That's who I used to be.
But you defend all of it. So how do we know you've
Because
changed?
I had a logic behind why I did it. I didn't do it just to do it.
Okay, but a different person would change their logic, right?
And I had it.
But you haven't. You still defend what you did.
Because I had a reason why I did it. So I'm always going to defend that.
Having a reason doesn't mean that that reason is correct. It's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's still my logic behind it.
So you ready to go back to our guest?
Sure. I mean, hey, we can talk about this type of stuff.
No. It's just ratchet. I'd rather talk
But
about.
I'm a change
Somehow you
man.
I'd rather talk about Jesus. Cause you need.
My mom folks can't watch the show because of the real stuff I talk about.
Yeah.
Wait, whoa,
Whoa. Up. Another Pandora's box.
Hold up. Flag on the flag.
Flag on the flag.
Who can't watch the show because of what you talk about?
Again.
Who can't watch the show?
Certain folks get their feelings about some things.
What they getting their feelings about?
About some of the stuff that I discuss on the show. I mean, like you know, some of the things in my
Sucking toes.
I don't tuck toes, man.
Eating booty.
Hey, fresh out the shower. Yeah.
So what are they saying to you?
No,
Is there multiple people?
Yeah, there's been a couple of folks that I've been conversing with.
Are they jealous?
I don't know what it is. They just said they can't watch the show.
But they have to give a reason.
They just say that some of the stuff that I talk about, kind of gives them a different perspective. But I'm like, don't get my radio persona confused with my real life persona. This is what I do for entertainment. It's like if I was a wrestler, you get upset if I put somebody here like nobody hurt him or something. No, I'm just
But you're not wrestling. This is not wrestling.
And I'm not doing the things I'm talking
But you're talking.
I used to do
Here's the thing: you talk about your true stories.
Yeah, it's just stuff that's happened in my life, in my past.
It may be.
So
you find an issue with it.
That's cool.
So are they afraid of the stuff you talk about, or
they never go into details.
Are they disagreeing?
I mean, this has happened several times. I've actually had a relationship end because of the shows that I do.
You know what?
So I mean.
Oh my.
You had a stalker too.
Yeah. So,
I'm here.
It gets
in the comments.
I mean, like 19 hours away.
He dropping him. I swear.
I can say what they are.
He be dropping nuggets. We both can. We know, but
I'm straight with no chaser.
So she only been once. But do you have to be a thought during that life?
I haven't been my whole life.
Just most of it.
Not the first 5 years.
Just saying. I told you I changed now.
So it's a question. How many times you said I love you and actually meant
Dang,
it?
look at this face.
I only said I love you a few times.
But did you mean it?
When I said it, I meant it. Yeah. I'm trying to think how many times have I said it.
I always said if I'm in.
Yeah, me too. I think it's only been like maybe 5 times.
Was it to the same person? 5 different people?
4.
So you were in a relationship and you told her you left her twice in a relationship?
No, I mean in 2 separate cases. I broke up and we were
So that's why you said I love you, because you was like, oh, I'll be there, but I love you.
Do you ever say I love you right before you bust?
I don't repeat. Nah, never. Nah.
So in that 6-year relationship, how many times did you tell me
I love you all the time.
So you said it more than 5 times.
But no, I'm saying on different occasions. I'm not saying, oh, you mean how many times I said that? I probably said 1,000 times. I thought you meant to like how many people that.
So question: if a chick, if you have sex with a chick, she says I love you, what do you say?
I mean, that happens. It's kind of awful.
No, what do you say, nigga?
You won't even tell us. He's like, that's awkward. Okay.
I
Yes.
mean, I'm trying to think what did I do when it happened.
Nigga, you might say he's slight, but most niggas said he said I love you back. Nigga, you probably did. You trying to get that nut off.
Yes, I probably just let it go.
You probably said I love you back.
I probably told her to get on the hands and knees for the face for us, so I wouldn't have to do that.
Nigga, no. When a female says it, you don't say anything. She'll ask you in the middle of sex, and be like, "Yo, do you love it? You heard what I said? I said I love you."
See, I ain't gonna do that.
So I've only had it happen a couple times.
And what do you do? What are you gonna do?
I said so.
You don't answer. You go deaf? You start making retarded sounds?
I probably had some music where I turn the volume up and shit.
After what he just said, I'm so over it. Both of you. Did you hear what he said? He said, what she done? So he asked.
I'm just saying, I had a chick propose to me one time.
Wait, while you were having sex?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What did you say?
Look at her butt.
Oh.
What did you say? What did you say?
No, I wasn't.
You
that-
nasty.
that- did you
He
think?
laughing real hard because he probably was. You was a nasty somebody. Ew.
Was it on the first lick or the second stroke? What was it?
Like it was the stroke, man.
It was what?
The stroke.
They choking your tongue on the booty?
No.
Oh. You
She
nasty.
had never squirted before. She had the first experience.
So what did she?
And
What
so
did
she
she say?
said, marry me?
And what did you
Nonsense
say?
is this?
What did you say?
I didn't respond. I just kept doing what I was doing. I played that. As long as she don't say no, stop, get off me, I just like that. Fuck it, I just didn't call it anymore.
This is what we got.
I'm just saying that's just some real life shit.
Did you make the dumb? Did you make the dumb sound?
I knew you was gonna ask it. I knew
I'm
it.
just saying.
He didn't answer. He didn't answer.
I know it's gonna make me either me end up not getting my nut off or it's gonna cause a problem. I just fuck it. As long as you don't say no, stop, or get out.
You going to hell?
No, man. I just avoid conflict.
This is horrible.
I call it conflict resolution. Eat y'all facts.
Then he gonna look at me like, you know what I'm talking about now.
Lady Anthony's like, hey, Lady Anthony's like, if you look at me one more time,
Bring this in there.
I will stab you. Don't bring that energy over.
I put it all the way around.
Look, I will.
I put it all the way full circle.
We will have no shanking on the set. Please.
They just take it off there for balance.
I don't know what you're talking
All right, let's get back to our guest. You got a question for our guest, CP3? It's not a question. You thought we forgot about you? No.
And he was like, oh,
I thought I was in the clear.
He said, I thought I was in the clear. No, you not.
No,
Because I got a question. So.
When you think it's safe, it ain't.
Let's see. With we were talking a little bit before the show about his music and him, his flow or whatever. He was breaking it down to each different beat that I had, different types, I do different soundtracks, that rap hip hop. What do you attribute being able to be so diverse with your flow to be able to adapt to different tracks that quickly and that easy?
Man, really just I love like music. Like I feel like as human beings we're all connected to like the beat anyway. Like people like I don't really like the lyrics. I don't really know the lyrics anyway, I just like the beat, So like when you like kinda like get in tune, you just kinda like practice. It's just like, God blessed me with the ability to, be able to just kinda like, like vibe with all different types of like sounds and just kind of like put the like
So you a freestyler?
I write in freestyle. I just like my dad like before he passed, he told me he's like why don't you write? I'm not going to. He said my name. He's like, why don't you write nothing down? And I was like, I just like because like, I had saw everyone was like, well, what did you get up there and like Eminem and like had like, oh, you got freestyle about blah blah blah. And I was like, so I just like was big on like freestyle, and then like my dad was like writing songs. So I got big on writing now. I have over like 300, bro.
Okay. What is your Mount Rushmore of music? Somebody see, I'm telling you, people get thinking that we just going to say some random shit. No, we got real questions.
K Reno, from Houston.
Okay.
He speaks about like Scientology, astronomy. I mean, I feel like I put like Rush on there. Rush is like a rock group.
It's your list. You put whatever you want on there. And Super Dave asked, what's your IG?
My IG is...
But no, he can answer his question later. Go back to the Mount Rushmore.
But I mean, like, of course, like I love Pop in so many different aspects, and he's like up there, you know what I'm saying? But he just didn't get the chance to like, or maybe they just didn't give us the music like just because they're wrapping you up, you know what I'm saying? We know who's running and how the music industry maneuver, huh?
Who for Pop?
It's just for everyone. They did like even like with music with Tupac, like we have Brendan Have a Baby and Dear Mama, right? But like all you ever really is California. They want that thug. You know
I'm gonna tell you
like, they don't care about like.
I mean, once again,
music.
it's because it's your list. That's how you feel. I grew up when I say I grew up on Pop, I grew up on Pop from Digital Underground.
No.
So I'll say this, like I listened to the first Pop and like Brenda's Got a Baby and what Tupac was now was very, very good album. Soldier Story was very deep. And at that particular time, like that wasn't gonna be a mainstream album. Like the fact that Tupac went mainstream, it blows my mind because he wasn't he was rapping Brenda Got a Baby when everybody was OPP. And it's so deep, even when he did All Around the World, the same song. And Holla If You Hear Me, when he did Strictly for My Niggas, like real talk. First of all, there was no album out there called Strictly for My Niggas, outside of like NWA. So that was groundbreaking. When he did Holla If You Hear Me, and this is at the time when Pac had actually shot back at the cops, because the cops had shot at him in Atlanta. He created his own movement. I've been a big fan and I studied his music. But you're younger than me. You're a lot of years my junior. So you probably haven't listened to Pop or how I seen Pop growing up. Because my how I see hip hop and how you see hip hop are gonna be totally different. We totally two different genres. You can listen to Pop, but I grew up with it. It's just it's just different. But go right ahead.
But I still have to stand firm on like what I'm saying, because like I feel like they still didn't put out. I feel like even the Pac that you heard, I feel like they didn't put out the real Pac. I feel like the Pac that was groundbreaking. I feel like it's like you have to think like his aunt and his family was organized with the Black Panthers. Like his aunt broke out of jail. She broke out of a federal prison for committing crimes. Like they broke her out of jail. So like with them being tied with those type of organizations, Pac had knowledge of certain organizations, certain things that was going on. Like, why did Pac really die? Was it really gang? Like, do we think that this is all over gang? Like, how protected was Tupac? Like, truly, and how protected was Biggie Smalls? And was it really the government, the ultimate enemy, or was it them two killing each other? You know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like they just never got Tupac's like. I feel like Pac has a lot of music that was probably about completely changing the world, but they never got to ever.
Well, there's no problem. He did.
There's the One Nation album, which never came out. Which he made amends with a lot of East Coast people. As we can go with California Love, like people forget that Tupac is really from the East Coast.
Tupac and Jada Pinkett went to school in Baltimore.
Yeah. No one talks about that.
Well, I didn't know that.
Tupac was on a different world.
Jada Pinkett?
I heard that. I thought there was like a scandal that he wasn't supposed to be Jada.
No, they went to high school together.
I watched the Different World episode.
Yes, the Different World episode. They played on that a little bit, because Jada Pinkett was on a different world.
Yeah.
And they played on that, on their relationship a little bit. Jada Pinkett went off to college. Her high school friends, people she grew up with, came into town. They brought her ex-boyfriend, who was played by Tupac. And he was rough around the edges, but she's in college, she's trying to better herself. And there was conflict there. And in a sense, when you hear about what happened between the two of them in real life, it really played on that because they were going in two different directions. And, she's very open with it. We just celebrated what would have been his 50th birthday. And she released a poem that she'd never released to the public before that he had written to her. But she's very open about their relationship. Tupac is definitely from the East Coast.
Yeah.
But I think that what I'm understanding what you're saying, is that the mass media portrays Tupac as this guy who did California Love or I Get Around, and that's it.
Yeah, like, well, that's really what it was. Like, if you see the videos about, like, mainly about Tupac, even like the interviews, like you have the select few interviews of him speaking as an intellectual. You know, he's always speaking well. You know, don't get it twisted. No matter when you see him, even if he's speaking out of character, he's still very well versed and spoken. Okay. Now, with that being said, I'm just saying, like, you just always see the negative with him. You always just see that he's moving with a mob, or you know what I'm saying, or like he was involved in like shootings, or like you know what I'm saying. Like you never really see the movement and the change that he was really trying to bring, and like that's why I feel like Tupac was like the peak that you can like. And like, if you wanted to like bring change and like start a movement, Tupac was like the peak that anyone could have reached at that point in time. It's just showing you at that point in time if you would like reach that peak, because like truly, I feel like they knew that Pac was the one rapper that was going to completely change the game and put their whole systematic way of life and controlling the world.
But we have to be honest with this too. And Tupac was also his worst enemy.
I'm sorry.
Tupac was his own worst enemy too. That's right.
Yeah. Because he was a firecracker. He was a firecracker.
And I can tell you this from being a Gemini. When you mad, you like when he's mad, he see red. It don't matter. And I can relate because I was like that.
And think about how old he was when he passed away.
Yeah.
He was
so
very young.
Back in my 20s, if you made me mad, and Lady Antoinette and CP3 cool with you, I'm mad at everybody. If I'm going to beef, I'm beef with everybody. I had to grow out of that. He never got the chance for. Right. At that particular time in your life, you young and you reckless, it happens. You know, I remember me being that person, wanting to jump in other people's beefs, jump in like when basically him jumping in, Orlando Jordan, they beating that dude down because he snatched the other dude's chain. I remember being in beefs like that. Like, I remember, no lie. God bless my cousin John, who passed away. His cousin Jason was there, and a dude said, "Give me your coat to Jason." Like that, it triggered me. It triggered me to the point I was like, "Thought I'd slap the shit out of you." That's how the conversation started, like that. All he said to him, he might have been drunk. I thought I'd slap the shit out of you. I was like, "Yo, go ahead, give him his coat." I said, "Go ahead, give him his coat so I can slap you. I dare you to take my cousin's coat. I will fuck you up on sight." Like, I know that anger because at that moment, that's all you feel.
And I'm be real with you. Based off of what you said, you're literally speaking on the plight of the black man. That's what happens. Tupac is not here to defend himself. He's not here to point out, hey, that's not what I'm all about.
True.
We did not get to see him fully develop as far as a young adult because he was killed.
He was
taken away from us. But I'm going to be real with you, okay? Because you're 30, and we already established that 30 ain't all that old, okay? But there was a thing called The Box. You heard of The Box, right? Did you hear about that? Sort of how?
What aspect?
The Box is, it was a video show. You call in the number, and you play videos on demand. There was no talking, it was just The Box. It was just videos all the time, okay? If there wasn't videos playing, they would have clips of videos, and they would have a menu. So you call in, and you punch in a code, and that's it. So that's what the people requested, right? For The Box. It was completely on demand. Brenda's Got a Baby got played so much was ridiculous. The people requested it. So I need you to understand that the people at that time, we weren't fooled by mainstream media or anything. We listened to Brenda's Got a Baby. It was very clear. It was very evident. And that was a good selling record, like the single, because you know we had singles back then.
Yeah.
You could get just the tape. You could get but that was the song that we knew. We knew that story too many times.
I think what he's trying to get across is the kind of the same sentiment I had, that Pac had so many impassionate speeches and conversations where he wasn't that angry black man that they show you all the time. You know
Right
what I'm saying?
now.
Yeah, now, so we're saying that now that's what's more personified is this thug-like image of him being angry and yelling at folks instead of showing the times when he was actually sitting down and having a conversation and
Right.
having, having a good conversation with someone, even though you might not agree with him, showing that he could be a person that can compromise and actually have a conversation without being that angry, yelling in your face. That's what they personify him as instead of more showing the side of it that, he actually was someone that wasn't always angry all the time and getting his point across that way. He could actually be someone that was diplomatic and actually sit there and have an educated conversation with someone to discuss the points.
And
I
that-
think that's more where it was going.
That's why I said that's the plight of the black man. Unfortunately, that is what they do. That's what they do to us.
I mean,
your legacy is nothing compared to what you were.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Tupac, he's the evolution of a black man.
Mhm.
You know, unfortunately, he didn't get to grow the way he was supposed to grow.
Right. And they want to label him. I mean, real talk. Everybody knows about Bill Cosby. Everybody knows about current things about Bill Cosby, right? That's not who he is as a person as a whole. The things that Bill Cosby did for our community is not. It's in the background, and the people don't talk about it.
So the thing is, like, I don't think like that's what like Tupac was like. I think that's what media was. I think Tupac was like he was very educated. Like we all know, like he was like private school and everything, like a
Yeah,
school
he
of
went to
arts and everything
performing
like
arts
that.
school, right?
You know what I'm saying? So like and then of course it started with Digital Underground as the backup, dance and everything like that. So like with that being said, like like that wasn't like actual like Pac's character. I feel like the media, like he had to be portrayed like that because they already put us against each other. They put blacks against each other. Like we shouldn't have to naturally be like that against each other. If we have to be like that, we should have to be like that against the outside predators. Man, like if you look at like a pack of gorillas, the bigger, strongest gorilla is the one that leads, and if there's one that wants challenging, they might fight it out, and if he's the strongest in the pack, they go. It's the same for lions, it's the leader of the pack. They touch the strongest, the one they feel that has the most durability and long longevity. So, with that being said, they teach us to like kill each other. Like we're the only like, and that's the whole thing too. Like we have to look at like, I just like I try to look at it and I try to get people look at it as like a whole like cause like when it's like looking at pockets like how they were teaching like us to be thugs and scream out thug life and blood crip East Coast West Coast beef and everything like that because that's like what they were pushing with hip hop and rap and that going back to what I was saying. The African American community, unfortunately, is the only race that's talking about killing their own people. You never hear about Mexicans talking about killing their own people, or Afghani.
They do.
I mean,
but see, here's the thing: mainstream media. I think that's what you're going on. That's what they put out.
I mean, but the whole thing is like, all right, so maybe they do. Maybe I'm just generalizing the statement. But I don't imagine that I feel like the African American community is the only community that dehumanizes their women and that beats down their own man, their own brothers. Like I feel like the other races and other communities across the world, I feel like they're so much more together and so much more for their own race. I feel like they're like you see an Italian person, they have an Italian flag. You see an Indian person, they have an Indian flag, or whatever their different nationality of Hinduism or of the denomination of races. Excuse me. So like even if you see even like an Irish person that have an Irish flag, but you never see like black people with like African flags. We're not really big on our heritage and like culture and like our people. We're not big on our race and building up our people, and that's the biggest thing like with like the media, because the media is pushing us to go against each other. So like Pac had no option but to see the media and to
have that, hey, this is what's gonna sell. Because if I don't incorporate this sometimes, if I don't have this image, if I'm not rolling with Suge Knight and Death Row, then I might not be able to enter this mainstream media because I know what intel and what's incorporated with it. You know, I know
So-
I have to.
I want to correct you on something real quick. So Pac's biggest song at that particular time that you're talking about wasn't while he was on Death Row. It was Me Against the World, but he was locked up at the time.
Right.
And the biggest song at the time that he had was Dead Mama. When he did
Which
Mac-
is a positive song.
when he did Machiavellian, they sold, but they didn't sell like how the album Me Against the World. But I mean, don't get me wrong, but I get what you're saying. There are things, but once again, I get what you're saying, but at the same time too, we have to take accountability for what we do as well. Because Pac did tattoo Thug Life on his stomach. Pac was in a group called Thug Life, and that was his thing. There are things that the white man does, and there are things that we do. We have to be accountable for the things that we do as well. We as black people, we have no problem saying the white man made us do that. But also we have to take accountability when we do something stupid.
And also,
And we're not perfect. So with Pac, we never see his fully evolution. Malcolm X changed his philosophy as he was evolved. We all change our philosophy. My views as I had when I was 20 versus that I have now is something totally different because it's changed and I've seen it. So, but unfortunately, we never got to see the final evolution. But go ahead, Lady Antoinette.
first of all, Tupac was young. And we know that. He was an intellectual thug. Plain and simple. We have those people. That's a part of our community. With that said, what me and 151 are saying right now, we lived through this whole phase that you're talking about. What we experienced, what we saw Tupac do, how he acted, what he what he did in general. It's slightly different than the way that people want him to be remembered. Some people want him to be remembered as the most intelligent, best rapper of all time. There are other people that want him to be remembered as a thug, and that's it. You have to be very mindful of the source of this information. Mainstream media may paint a different picture of Tupac than what we literally saw with our own eyes while it was going on. Some of their assumptions are correct as far as how he was at that time. And I can completely understand for you or anyone your age and younger to have no choice but to speculate, because what we constantly see over and over again is Tupac with a bandana tied around his head, Thug Life written across his chest, or his stomach, really, because they say chest, but it's on his stomach.
Yeah.
And we hear he was involved in some East Coast, West Coast drama. That's how he got. Tupac was a hothead. We know this, okay? But that's not all about who he was.
Yeah.
So some of your assumptions are correct, and we're here, me and 151, to let you know, like, yeah, you're right about what you think that he was at that time. Your assumptions for that is completely correct. He was very intelligent. He was wise beyond his years, because when I sit back and think, dude, at 21 and me at 21, completely different.
I have a question. And I'm gonna do two questions real quick. Two quick questions. All right. Are rappers nowadays actors? The rappers nowadays, are the rappers nowadays actors?
Hold on, I'm gonna let CP3 answer that. Wait, talking to them.
Of course, it's all about the persona, and it's more about marketing and selling yourself more than selling your craft. Because there's a lot of beautiful artists out here that move 1 million units, but couldn't put a a 16 bar track together by themselves and not have 3 other folks on it because they don't have nothing to say for the 16 bar.
And it's all about Instagram and social media.
So I think Tupac was the like first like not to say like because Tupac like let's be real, like I'm not thinking that Tupac like not say that he wasn't down or like putting them in a different lifestyle, but I'm not seeing Tupac with the gun in his hand having to go kick indoors. He's not that guy, you know. He was
but he was.
But he was very fortunate. I don't believe that at all. And I mean there's no
and see that's the thing about it is what's gonna allow you to change your belief is your belief. I know for a fact Tupac was one of the very first people when he shot at the Atlanta cop. When he did the song "Holler for You Hear Me," he literally rhymed about shooting at the cops. And even when he did, even on his first album, we quote "Brenda's Got a Baby," but the niggas in the streets was playing Soldier Squad.
And real talk, look into his beef with M.O.B.
But that's different than being street than being militant. He's being militant. Like that's what I said.
Let me finish though. So here's the thing. Tupac was heavy in the streets and in New York and stuff like that when he was on the East Coast. One of his best friends was Tretch from Naughty by Nature. Another thing he was before he met Biggie, he met the Live Squad. The Live Squad, I remember them dudes. Two of them dudes was killed. They were murdered. Big Stretch and another one of the guys from the Live Squad was murdered. But they was really grimy, like really New York thug dudes that just could really rap. They was probably more in the streets than in the booth. And Tupac loved embracing that lifestyle because he lived that lifestyle. You know, he was the type of dude that you would, even when he was doing like Juice or whatever, he would go from the movie set and be in the ghetto or be in the club. Like he lived that.
So, like, you know, just, I mean, like, okay, so like, in the aspect like of me, not like comparing myself to Pac, like, but like I've been in some like situations. I know different people, you know, in different places, you know, like all right, but like Pac was affiliated with the Black Panther Party. We can say the Black Panther Party was
his mother was.
He was.
He was.
But I would have to say that he was affiliated. Like
he wasn't.
Like
that's not correct. I'm just keeping it real. That's not correct. His mother was affiliated with the Black Panther Party, not Pac himself.
But and then his aunt as well, because she's the one that was like broke out of prison as well, correct? Amanda Shakur, she was the one that was broke out of prison.
So you have to look at the timeline. You have to look at the timeline. Prior to Pac being the rapper that we know of, the Black Panther Party was not the Black Panther Party that you're thinking. They were pretty dormant at that point. So their past affiliation prior to him even being here, because Pac wasn't even born until what, 74?
No, he was born, Pac is older than me. I was born in 74. Pac was born in like 72.
Well, regardless, the Black Panther Party, when you look at their active time, if my parents were involved in the Black Panther Party in the 60s and 70s, what does that have to do with me in the 70s, 80s, and then when he became famous in the 90s? That doesn't have anything to do with him because his parents used to be.
So with like in that aspect, so then in that aspect, then children with mothers and fathers in gangs have no aspects of ties to them. Then
no.
Well, I mean, but sometimes it would seem if their family member is so involved in those organizations and those individuals are so focused minded on that one subject and that one thing, and that's them and that's their being, then you know we see that the children are like the parent. You know.
Well, let me ask you this: your mom has her beliefs, and the first thing you said was that you went a different route. You listened to what she said to you, but you chose your own path. That's exactly what he did.
My father didn't believe in Christianity, though.
Okay, but even still, you believe and your mom believes in one thing, your father believes in another. You took the information that you had growing up and chose your own path. That's what he did. He never claimed any affiliation with the Black Panther Party.
But I'm not saying that he can't claim affiliation with the Black Panther Party, but I'm just thinking like on a more like all right, so like I'm what they would call a conspiracy theorist. So like I look up a lot of things that you wouldn't know to be like fact. There's a lot of documentation. Like, all right, so I'm never going to tell you something that I feel to be my opinion that I haven't actually seen written down or heard from someone I feel that is knowledgeable. You know what I'm saying? Or some someone of a standing that I can, you know what I'm saying, trust their word. I'm not just going off of, you know what I'm saying, hearsay or just going off of, oh, conspiracy, Illuminati, have you heard about Beyonce and Jay-Z, all that, you know what I'm saying, basic level knowledge about spirituality and the Luciferian satanic doctrine. I'm more so like Pac, I feel like Pac, like I feel like Pac was like it was so much more to Pac than like what's being said. I feel like he was like truly like doing things and had things in the works that was truly gonna change the whole like rap game and music industry period. So therefore they had to create this whole East Coast, West Coast beef in the first place. Like when Pac was shot at the first time, right? Because he was shot twice, right? And then he thought that it was Biggie, right? And put that in and then set it up. No, but he thought that it was Biggie. He thought it was Biggie. No, but he thought that it was Biggie and Puffy that set him up, and so he made the. But I'm just like it's just like when like it's like people have money that can put these movements into play for certain reasons, and if certain people say that like it's like even just like Dave Chappelle on like a smaller aspect, or like Cat Williams. They said Cat Williams was stealing change out of the hotel. But that's just because what he's been speaking on in the races and ethnicities that he's been speaking on, and the subject matter that he's been speaking on. The same with Dave Chappelle talking about why he went to Africa and canceled the show because they were asking him to change his cast and change this person over and that person over. It's really about a agenda with our people, and I feel like truly like Tupac, cause it's like the forgotten or the forbidden Tupac interview. Like one of his last interviews is like 25 minutes long, and he's actually talking about we still live backwards evil. He told him, and he's actually just knowing what I know about like Satanism. That's our Satanism that's our magic. That's our energy. That's our understanding. But they use it and they make it bad. They say darkness is bad. That's why you have black magic and darkness, and you have white light, and everything like that. We are the chaos being. There's the yin and the yang. That's like, they don't want us to have our true intelligence, and Tupac was like speaking on a different level that they've never had any other rapper speak on. There's never been any other rapper to speak. And K Reno has not reached any. That's why I said you asked me my favorite musician. My mouth first of all I said K Reno, but there's never been. They don't let any like Jay-Z. They said Jay-Z was like the top rapper. Now just let me show you in comparison how you get on top, right? The Luciferian doctrine, following Satan in the aspect in comparison, right? All right, you have Jay-Z, right? Jay-Z pulls up like this, right? Hova as Jehovah with the pyramid right here, the all saint Abba. Then he also made the song Lucifer, son of the morning. I'm on the chase all over earth. Lucifer, son of the morning. That's one of Jay-Z's biggest songs, And when he was actually recording in the studio, he said, I don't even know how I know that. I've never read the Bible a day in my life, So in the aspect, like they never let anyone reach the aspect of pop because they wanted to kill that in the rap game and to have our community kill itself. That's why we're still talking about, and they're still pushing the music that's talking about killing each other.
Well, I'll disagree with something like that because gangster rap started. Spoonie D from Philly is quote unquote the Godfather of gangster rap. Then we got Ice-T. Then we got NWA. Gangster rap has been around for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's the forefather of trap music. And it was people who on the West Coast started telling their stories. And their stories weren't the same as East Coast stories. Their stories were drive-bys. Their stories were colors and bandanas.
Yeah.
And then the whole gang system took over the prison system where it became shit. We got Bloods and Crips in New York now. We got Bloods and Crips in DC.
Yeah.
One day I was going to Fridays and two dudes walked up to each other and they do blood signs. I was like, what the fuck am I at?
Yeah.
I'm on the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, this is from what I've seen and what I know. So, like I said, I when I say these things, I don't say to say that you're wrong or anything like that. I just go about from what the knowledge of what I've seen in my 47 years.
And let me say this. What you said about Tupac, he was wise beyond his years. He was a part of a movement. He was doing things that a lot of people did not like. What you said is true. With that said, I need you to understand that it's actually bigger than Tupac.
Yeah.
There was a supposedly secret meeting amongst different heads of record labels a long time ago. Okay, this is known. And then when they got together, their goal was to glamorize a certain lifestyle. The lifestyle of drugs, women, money, violence. Okay, those are the things that they wanted to glamorize this in our music. Why did they want to do that? Why were they glamorizing illegal activity? Because when you look at the root of hip hop, okay, when you look at when hip hop started, that's not what it was about.
No.
So why was there a shift? Why were these record labels pushing this? Well, here's the reason why. They wanted to fill our prisons. And anyone who knows anything knows that our prison system is highly corrupted.
Yeah.
Highly corrupted.
I think it's just to take out the blacks. I don't think it's about.
No,
I
but
think
that's
it's
part
about
of it.
blacks.
That's part of it.
It's just about the
See,
blacks.
we just celebrated Juneteenth, right? We just celebrated Juneteenth yesterday. Hold on. 1865, right? Okay. So, how do you go in 1865 from not having any slaves? Well, when you look at the Constitution, yes, slavery was abolished, except for in the prison system. You can go to prison for whatever reason, and they're going to use you as a slave. That is the reason why the prison system is so hard on the black man. That's why the majority of the black men are in prisons. That's why there is a conspiracy to get black men into prisons, to weaken the black family. You see what I'm saying? So you're right on the right path, but I'm just putting some clarity out there.
Like, I'm just gonna have to we're gonna have to agree, disagree a little bit, just because I just have to say 100% all right, it's all about the blacks, 100%, they had to trick us, they tricked us with our knowledge and our information, once you teach generations, working a 9 to 5 year slave. Prison is beyond slavery. Prison is when you enter hell. But 9 to 5 is slavery. If you have to waste your time and energy, what we're doing right now, this is all we have. You have nothing. Take away all this fabrication that the Satanists, the Luciferians made. Take away these tables, this mic, all these materials. What did God create us with? Okay, the animals, the vegetables, the fruits, the plants, and then us, right?
That's what I'm saying.
So when we have all we have is our time.
No,
So
that's what I'm saying.
the 9 to 5 is so the 9 to 5 is really, you know what I'm saying, when we live in slavery. So we're living in slavery 24/7, and they try to trick you for that currency. No, but see, that's the whole thing. We weren't really
they tell you, and me and my buddy, he's actually my best friend. This guy's my witness. My best friend, I told y'all, he was like he's into loose brain doctrine. He wears Baphomets and everything like that. He's 43 on everything I love, right? We just had, because I told him, I said, we were not slaves in America. We were not slaves when they talk about Harriet Tubman. They always talk about the story of Harriet Tubman, right? Harriet Tubman was, when they talk about the Underground Railroad, she was actually a worker. There was more than Harriet Tubman as an underground worker for the railroad. We've always been paid wages. See, we just got mixed up in the knowledge and when they were teaching our people. Because back in the day, right? Back in the day, when you were a slave back in the 1950s, they knew in the 19 excuse me, back in, I believe they said the 1940s, they knew being a slave to be a worker, but when it started changing into like the 50s and the 60s, that they started known to be something else because it's the change of knowledge. And if you're forced to teach, like we think about Black Wall Street, like if you're forced to teach, like if you're forced to teach your children something, okay, because like that's why they want to independent and segregate. The worst thing they did was when they migrated schools and brought all the races together. You know, and so they can teach their knowledge, you know, because when we had our own independent knowledge and we had our own independent leaders, we were actually teaching true growth and development and actually
So
getting growth.
this is something I agree with what you just said. But one, segregation was the worst thing that happened to Black people because we started to assimilate and copy other people and not teach our stories, our doctrine, and our history.
But by the time we had segregation, we didn't have history to teach. That's the problem. See, when you have one race oppressing another race, trying to erase our history, trying to change our history, trying to force us to feel that their way of life is the only way.
Yeah.
Then when you have segregation, you have no choice. Those people have no choice but to only work as how they choose to or how they know.
Yeah.
And it's like a clean slate. Those people during that time frame, you don't know where your ancestors came from.
No.
You don't know anything about your history. You don't know anything about traditions and the religion that your ancestors celebrated or practiced. You don't know, like, okay, we know as far as this country, oh yeah, we know about Christmas. We know about these holidays here in this country. But what about our ancestors prior to that time frame, or speaking of slavery?
Yeah.
What about them? What about the people further back? We don't know. All we know is the colonizers' way of life. So of course, segregation, we don't know that.
Because they didn't allow us to work in this place to make the textbooks.
Yeah.
To give the information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were never allowed to do that. So
And
it
you
was
were,
always
if you did speak the truth, you were punished or killed.
Pretty much.
A dead man can't talk.
Yeah.
Okay, a dead man can't teach.
And that's the difference now, because like now it's the information age. Like all this information is on the table now. Like so, like what's going on now is like is being exposed, because like what it is like all of this information and knowledge has been here for us, like in the first place. Like they've already told us that we are like gods of this world and always gave us landscape. They just told us that it was bad. Like astral projection, like different dimensions, like talking to spirits and stuff, like different things that they would say witches and wizards would do, like even like the alphabet. The alphabet is based off of magic and witchcraft. I could break it down like spelling, spell, boom, right there, I hit you with a spell, and now you're cursed. Curse words. All right, now this like abracadabra of the ABCD, abra, AB, abra, CD, abracadabra. The ABCD is abracadabra. Let me start with the 26 letters of the alphabet, with the 26 lines, them 29 fingers. This is magic. This is witchcraft, and they give it to us, and they put us in the Luciferian doctrine. They put us in a box, right? And they're squaring the circle. They said the Earth was flat, like this square table, because everything's square and then everything's circle. But now it's circle. Squaring the circle is a satanic ritual. That's why they base everything off of squares and circles. You see that the phone is square, the table is square, the walls are squares, and then everything else is based off circles like the fans. And the shapes differ when they're making specific items, but based off that, this is how they use the symbology to kind of embrace the witchcraft and actual magic and energy that we control. Because like they say, we use 10% of our brains, right? If we use 15%, we wouldn't even have to talk right now. We just already know what each other were thinking at 15%.
That's true.
At 30%, we be lifting stuff up. We messing with the neighbors. You know what I'm saying? So like, I just like, I don't know. I'm
No, but no, I get what you're saying. And,
Wait,
and you also
wait.
have to remember with this country, you're bringing up ABCs and all this stuff. Our whole country is built off of what? What were our quote unquote forefathers in this country? They were all Masons.
Yeah, that's true. Wait a minute, before we get that. What did I tell you at the beginning before we even started the show?
You're right.
If you're going to speak your mind and speak your opinion, you don't apologize for it. Because I can't take it seriously if you're saying I'm sorry.
You're right.
There's nothing, and here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with
having a opinion.
Exactly. The whole point of this podcast is we openly discuss everything. And CPT shares everything, even though we don't want him to sometimes.
He's giving me too much information.
Anybody can learn from any situation. I'm trying to teach you. I've been
Some of
through
the
trials and tribulations, so other folks won't.
Dude, some of the stuff you teach us is terrible.
Yeah. First of all, like y'all not up close to him.
He cheated you out like a mother.
He's gone.
I can tell. We about to get up out of here, man.
You said stratosphere. What stratosphere you in?
Man, you on a whole nother planet. I ain't never heard you been this quiet for so damn long.
But I mean, at least real talk, him being quiet to me, because y'all know I hear the stuff that y'all don't hear. For him being quiet, that's actually better than him over here struggling and whispering stuff. Like,
I mean, your voice didn't change 8 times on the show, so we're proud of you. Keep
it's
it up.
because he wasn't even talking. He didn't even talk.
Exactly.
Don't get used to it.
Exactly.
Very rarely.
This Uncle Nearest, this 100 proof Uncle Nearest got you, man, down. What? You know what? Here he go. He about to overshare y'all.
So peace. We about to end the show. Tell people, because my man Super Dave want to know your IG.
Man, it's Prince Peace. So the word Prince and then Peace right after PEACE 24/7 369. I really don't be on my Instagram. I actually had to make a new account for some unfortunate circumstances. I only got 3 followers right now, so I had to,
You sound like CP3 right now.
some unfortunate circumstances. So I'm just starting right now.
Yeah, but they lock you up too much, they're gonna shut your whole account.
So yeah. Again, Instagram, Prince Peace 247 369. Only got 3 followers right now, starting now. So I had to redo my account.
It's all right. We know how they do.
Yeah.
We understand.
I appreciate
I
y'all.
got another message
Conversations and everything.
Yeah, another message.
I'm violating their community standards every day. Apparently. Stuff from 2016. But they do it all the time. Like, really? And they sent me one of the same one they just sent me.
CP3, what you got popping on Monday, man?
Tomorrow night on Sports and Hill Podcast, we'll be breaking down the Nationals weekend review. I mentioned they won 3 out of 4 versus the Mets.
Oh, he can't remember.
I got it back. I be covering so much. We'll be breaking down that with Brian Brennan. Robbie will be off this week. We'll also recap the last week of the Stanley Cup Finals, going into the conference finals, get ready for the Stanley Cup. Also, we'll be talking. We'll try to get some WNBA in, and also.
What?
Well, he said that before. Did you get him in before?
I mean,
try.
You trying to get him? You trying to smack?
I mean, we got credentials to go down there, but unfortunately, my new career, I haven't finished.
You trying to smash?
It depends.
Yeah, he is.
Because actually, I met a couple of them off site. They cool.
Off site, huh?
Yeah, what if we bring? But yeah, we'll be talking some WNBA. I'll probably talk a little bit of football also, and we'll talk a little bit of NBA playoffs with the conference finals and all of that good stuff. Because Game 7 is going on right now, so we should have the finals for both divisions coming up tomorrow. Yeah, we also have some boxing news coming out soon. I'll still have my Washington football team rookie breakdown of the players that they drafted. I got to coordinate with dudes' names. Both been busy as hell lately. Also, if in the market for a new used pre-owned certified vehicle, come on down to Waldorf, 10-4 I'll let you go to CP3 get that deal done. Bad credit, no credit, some credit, come hard and get that deal done.
Look at CP3 shining with the jewelry. Looking
Well,
like
hold on. Here's the crazy part. He did all that sleep.
So real quick, this is what y'all know. Muhammad Ali's grandson is talking about he wants to box.
That's big right there.
That's big because you got two big shoes.
Mm-hmm. Layla and Muhammad Ali.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So it's real. Just have to
Yeah,
put that
that's
out
good.
there.
And I mean, you know, I hope he does it, follows his dream, goes into the family business, you know.
Look, I don't know. 'Cause sometimes I feel like Michael Jordan sons. I ain't playing basketball to that nigga.
Well, I mean, that's a whole different ball. You know, Michael Jordan, when it came to the youth and then trying to be inspirational, it didn't quite work. Every good players are not always good coaches.
Yeah.
A good inspiration. Ask Kwame Brown about that.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other story. Or good people. Right, they don't have to be there. They may not be good people. They might
Yeah,
be
yeah.
talented.
He's big as ass for a lot.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to really say it like that, but because it's Father's Day. It's Father's Day. I didn't want to bash Black Father. Sorry. Juneteenth, Father's Day, all that stuff. I mean,
I'm not a Jordan fan. I don't
You said what?
care.
I know, but you know, I didn't have to see them.
What you got coming up, Lady Antoinette?
My birthday. My birthday Saturday. So, what you say? I feel like you really hating on me, man. First of all, I'm telling everybody I'm about to be 25. You hating, and now you hating on my activities that you benefit from.
So we having a birthday show next week.
Yes, we're gonna have a birthday show. We gonna have a birthday show. I mean, that's all we gonna say. We can't tell what we gonna do on air. Oh, I thought you was about to say something. We talking about back? Oh my God! What? You do know I have weapons. I was about to say what?
It sounded like you trying to say you trying to get topped off.
Right. I was like, what? Oh no, I was about to, y'all was about to see some violence.
I was going to go video.
So black on black violence. Black on red.
That'll be the red, the black, and the green.
You get your stab back on.
I'm
just saying, when you saying stuff like that, I mean, what you expect?
It sounded like you said for a minute top off.
Oh,
Yeah, you know.
It took me a second. You see, I was like, what he just?
Brother can't never get a fair shot.
Because I treat you like family. I don't want to have to stab you.
I mean,
they can't even turn over a new.
you have mooned her a couple of times.
Right. And you share too much information quite often. So I mean,
more insight into my
no.
Good rate.
Good rate, that's what it is.
Yeah, but
like, his life was the weakest ever. You are gone.
I know. So next week's gonna be a birthday show for Lady Antoinette. We gotta get something special for her and stuff. Definitely because I would say this. One of the things I celebrated my birthday with the At the Bar team, and one of the best birthdays I had in a long time. Just being around good friends, and we laughed, and Renegade came through, and man, we got fucked up.
Not me. I was the angel.
Oh yeah, you.
Hey, I wasn't on meds. Thank you very much. But I was an angel.
He was like, he got my idea. I said, well, I said, let me get 4 shots.
Matter of fact, I think I gave you one of my shots. We had 3 shots one time.
Yeah.
So.
You know, Renegade started talking bartender talk with the dude. Next thing you know, I'm trying to get my balance, and then the dude just like, oh
yeah.
I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah, he just said everybody shots. I wasn't even drinking that. And I was like, okay, here you go. Happy birthday. Never.
But you know, it was a good birthday. Shout out to Thomas. You know,
Yes.
from Victor doing this thing. I may call him tomorrow. I may call him and see if he can
Yes,
come to
Thomas, thank you so much. And then Victor and Pentagon City. You
Why you got the Birdman rubbed up?
right. Look, now he got energy. He got energy now. He like, right, because
This nigga think about watches and white girls.
right. I mean, real talk, Thomas, you know, he blessed us. He took care of us. We walked out with like 8 watches amongst us. It was real.
It was 8 watches. It was some bracelets.
6 bracelets,
2
8 watches, some like about three cases.
Yeah, somebody had like 3 cases.
I don't know who you're talking about. But you definitely, that Father's Day sale blessed us, and I was able to even bless other, you know, great fathers in the process. And I appreciate Thomas. So big up to Thomas. If y'all are in the, you know, the
Pentagon
watch
City.
in Pentagon City, or you just enjoy, you love watches, and Victor is a really good brand. See Thomas, tell him we sent you at the bar. We need to do a whole, since one of y'all is a collector now. Since one of y'all is a collector, I think we should do like a function at one point. So Thomas, we know you probably listening, because Thomas is a great supporter.
He's a great supporter.
of us.
Yeah,
we need
here, man. Come on, baby.
right, because you know we rocking Victor. I don't have mine on today, but I got some stuff. I got a little bit of something. So
That's it. See, me voice keeps fucking changing.
yes, I said a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit definition.
It doesn't matter. I had a little bit.
So,
And I did join the.
You did join the club.
Facebook group.
Wait. So let me just tell you something. When I bought my watch, I did not get the type of invitation that Lady Antoinette got. They offered her the Facebook group. They gave her a case. She had 3 flasks. What the? This is supposed to be my birthday. I thought I was shining, and they just really just stunned it on me. I walked out there with a little ass bracelet. Like, man, that's all I got.
Nah, they definitely
like
we bought business in there. Like we came in there, we was not playing.
Like real talk. So
I wasn't expecting to buy.
See, Renegade wasn't even okay. Real talk. I was the only one expecting to buy a watch, but
I was gonna buy one get one free until they said buy 2 get 4 free.
Man, they said buy 2 get 4 free. Next thing you know, Lady Antoinette and CP3 formed Voltron and was like, give me watch.
And hand me that case. Oh, give me them braces. We were just feeling throwing it in the bag. We was just like throwing it in the bag.
But then she really tried to take one of CP3's watches.
Well, that was a really nice one. Like real talk, I was like, you don't need that watch.
She was like, you don't need it.
Right? I was like, you don't need that watch. I was like, man, it don't look good with your complexion.
With my black shirt.
But
and he don't even have that one no probably because he know he gonna be around me.
Yeah.
That's actually been my that one right. You got your video trying to ride on the way to the truck and shit. Like you break yourself.
But real talk, that was a man's watch. I found the female version, and so I need to holler at Thomas to see because I need it.
Yeah, definitely.
That's my good luck watch at work. Every time I wear it.
See, I knew something about that watch. I knew it.
She never gave you niggas money.
You right. We came out there like we robbed the place.
But honestly, it's nothing like seeing your whole team shine.
Yep.
And you know, real talk, it was just fun.
Mm-hmm.
We had fun. I said some discouraging things to some other people. They tried to sell me shit.
It happens.
It happens.
You see Thomas.
Yeah.
It's a very diverse mall.
You know what? This one right here was looking at other things along with.
Oh, well, that's what he does. So real talk. I like to give the ladies a shout out this year.
Mm-hmm.
For all the ladies that fought the urge to put up during Father's Day, happy Father's Day to me. And you let the fathers actually get a good Father's Day this year. Like a lot of y'all knew that nigga was a deadbeat before you slept with him.
Mm.
So don't take Father's Day from good fathers because you made poor decisions with sleeping with a bum ass nigga.
Well,
Like a lot of y'all do, like you knew this dude was trash and you still opened up your legs. And then on top of that, you had the nerve to procreate with him and make more little trash babies.
Oh my God. You know what?
the signs was there.
We
They
about
showed
to.
they gone, man.
Oh, we
That-
about to
that's
get
the
some
thing.
heat from this.
Oh, yeah, we about to get into
Oh
this.
my
So, and I'm glad that this year they allowed, because you know, Facebook they be going crazy. They be like, oh, you know, especially it's right after Mother's Day, they be like, yeah, happy Father's Day to me, and y'all go really berserk with it. So I'm so glad that we restrained from doing that this year.
Well, I'm gonna be real with you. There are a lot of other women who had to check those women. In previous years, I've seen more women check that behavior than I've seen men, and I'm so happy.
And we
because I don't
appreciate
really-
that. We appreciate, honestly, we appreciate that because the thing about being a black man is you get labeled for the sins of other black men, and you may be doing the right thing.
But
You may take care of your kids,
Right.
and then you be like, "Yo, sweetheart, this is Father's Day, it's about us." Oh, you just a deadbeat ass. I ain't even done nothing. I'm with my son right now in the picture.
And I'm gonna be real with you. Like I said, I have seen strong black fathers on a regular basis.
So
I've
have I.
seen more strong black fathers than I've seen those who are not.
Like
it's not the thing to do like people say it is. And I work in HR, and I have for 14 years now. And that means that I'm the one that does payroll. I'm the one that puts in certain orders and things like that. I've done that. And I can be honest with you when I tell you that it's not always the black man
Yeah.
who does take care of his children. I've seen men of other races. I've seen women as well
Yes.
get those garnishment papers.
Yes, I have seen those too.
So with that said, you know, it goes to what we were talking about earlier, the plight of the black man. You know, people want to down him and give us this picture that isn't really true.
That's
So
and I salute, like I said again, I salute my Uncle Tyrone. I love my father. I love my Uncle Robert. But my Uncle Tyrone, as a black man, has showed me the way to be a black man. The way he loved my Aunt Sheila, unconditionally. You know, when I love a woman, I want to be like that.
yeah.
Even as me being his nephew, he would come in here and if he would overcook food or have extra food, I come in, you know, he had the key to the house, there'd be food in the refrigerator. You know, he knows I work a lot. And I'm a grown man, I ain't really need him to cut my grass. But he would cut the grass anyway. He trimmed the tree anyway. Because that's what he does. As a black man, his job was he wanted to make sure, even though I'm a grown man, I'm still his nephew. That I was always on. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, and I was blessed to have that in my life.
Yeah.
You know, and I hope there are more people, and I know there's a lot of good fathers like my Uncle Chuck.
Yeah.
You know, because he, like I said, he raised me, my brother, my sister, my niece, my nephew, his son, my cousin. You know, my other cousin.
Yeah.
And his grandkids and his great grandkids. And 90% of the people aren't biologically related to him.
Right.
But he raised us all as if we were. You know, and I can't say enough about how much I love my Uncle Tom. You know, and shout out to my father. He sent me a text this morning. Shout out to my goddaughter, Tanisha and Shay. You know, they made my day. You know.
And it's Father's Day is not always about biology.
Yes.
We're here to celebrate fathers and father figures. There are men who have been that father, you know, whether they have their own biological children or not. They matter, they make a difference. And so I want to give a shout out to the fathers, the father figures as well. Because we do the same thing on Mother's Day. You got stepfathers, you got uncles, you got, you know, cousins, you got people who step up You know,
True indeed.
if the father is not there, or just in addition to. And when I say not there, I ain't talking about, oh, he locked up or he just a baby. No, sometimes, father pass away,
Yeah.
somebody steps up. So it's various reasons, but we thank those guys, you guys included. Happy Father's Day to you guys.
Appreciate that.
CP3, I wish you the best as far as finding your children. But also, I can attest to CP3 being a father figure to his nieces and nephews.
It takes a great man to show up at a family cookout
Right.
with his nieces and a stripper.
But it's funny because prior to that, I didn't know about his nieces because he talks about them.
Yeah.
He used to talk about them, and then when his nephew was born, oh my God, you would have thought he had a baby. I thought he had a baby. I really thought, I was like, oh, he got a little boy there. But he talks about them like they're his kids. And how old is your nephew now? See, that makes me feel some kind. I remember when this little boy was born.
Hey.
Not because I know him or his mother, it's because of him. And I remember before he was born, and it was just his nieces, and I remember all of that. And I will
Did
say,
you raise him on UGK?
Nah, I gotta try to keep him away from that stuff.
I feel like I saw a picture of him like in a wife beater and like dressed like you.
Nah, he got a Fortnite. He always got a Fortnite t-shirt.
No, when he was little.
Oh,
You had him in a white beater when he was little?
Like one or two, like a little chubby little baby. And I feel like you had a picture, and I was like, this little boy looks like
that
that.
was his thing. Brandon, when he was young, he's not gonna really remember all of it, but when he gotta, that pinky gotta come out, it's gonna come out.
Oh my God.
So you used to drop him on playing Pimp C?
He probably did. I feel like he did.
I feel like he did.
I put a little dash in it.
But I will say that, CP3 definitely was in their life. So I can attest to that much, So if he did, have contact with his children, I do feel confident that he would have been there. If she could find him.
Exactly. If she would have called me and let
She
me know
couldn't
how
find
it is.
you. That part's your fault.
My number been the same for the last.
Nigga, but your name ain't been the same.
Right.
The number been the same. She got the number.
Yeah, but some people, like, if you break your phone, back in those days, let's be real, you break your phone, everything off.
My number is still
But what if she didn't know about her? I mean, she sure. She can't look you up.
in the same area, same general area for my whole
She
life.
was in the phone.
You know what?
I worked at one job for 20 years.
We about to end the show on your lies.
2 hours.
All right. You got a daughter.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You got a daughter. All the bad shit you done did.
That's cool.
You.
like, I'm trying to get that top. I was
That
like,
top.
what? All of us stopped. Like, did you say?
Why you probably look at me with this?
Y'all got to tag me on the wrong page.
I didn't even tag it just yet.